my room here. So we are live. I was just telling Matt I've got to be quiet here because my little
Oh,
girl is
we're
sleeping.
live. It just
Yeah,
clicked.
we're live. I told you.
All right,
We're
there we
gone
go.
live. All right. Hey,
Awesome.
everybody. Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Thursday tonight. We're super excited because we have no special guests. So we're
What a
winging
way
it
to
tonight.
start.
We're just kidding. So yeah, guys, everybody, it's been a super crazy busy week for us. But we're going to fill you in on some stuff that we're doing. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to share with you some of these cool new things that we've got going on.
Ooh,
So I'm pretty excited about that. And so we do have a couple of guests tonight. But before I get into that, let's just wait to get a few people on. Matt, do you have any words of wisdom or any updates for anybody? I've got a few. So
you got a
as
few?
usual,
Okay.
as usual, I have some
Yeah,
updates.
I guess if you guys are watching live, hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below. Also, let us know where you're watching from. I'm curious where people are tuning in from. Like tuning in, like they got rabbit ears on the TV or something. But where are you watching this from? And don't say your room, like which part of the country or which part of the world are you watching from? I'm curious to see what that looks like. And also, like, how many clients do you currently have, and are you an agent or a marketer? Like,
Holy
let's. I
questions,
know, I know,
man.
I know.
Okay,
Well, I want to find out,
so
like, who's
first of
watching.
all,
Like, what? Let's
first of all,
tune in.
okay, first of all, everybody's got a hashtag live or replay. And typically, we usually have about 10 people at the beginning on, then it goes up to about 20 or so live,
We're going
right? We
for
usually get
50.
one person that hashtags live. So that's now you're asking people to tell you where they're watching from and how many clients they have.
Yeah,
So
let's see.
let's
Like,
actually see
well, are
how
you a
many
marketer or
people.
are you a real estate agent? Let's not worry about the clients. Are you a marketer or a real estate agent?
I think you're asking for a lot, Matt. So um, for anybody who answers all three questions, Matt's going to give you $20.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So
We're gonna have to do the whole like last person to comment on this post wins a gift card thing. Have you
you can
seen
give you.
these?
Yeah, I have.
They
I,
keep
I saw one
going.
the other
I'm
day.
like,
$20. Last person, and then I think it was the guy that posted the ad. Like posted the guy that posted was the last person to comment.
that's what you do. Is at the end you just go, "I win," and then you shut off comments.
Is that how that works?
I think so. I don't know, but I watched a couple people do it. The highest I've seen is $100, and he had over 2,000 comments. So I'm like, yeah, I guess he's boosting engagement, but like, it's, is it really that helpful? Like, I don't know. Also, let me know if you liked that the warning shot that we fired off in the chat bot earlier to let you know we're working on the live. I was having a little fun there. So
Yeah, we're
anyway,
pretty.
but
We're a little late. We gotta sort of Matt. You gotta get on top of this stuff
I
because
know, I
starting
know.
at 9:15, we're supposed to be starting at 9 o'clock. I
I
think
was
there's a lot of people that
actually
are anticipating Thursday nights and they're waiting around for us to go live. So I think you need to get a little bit more organized. Actually, in fact, I think we were talking about this earlier. How we need to get a production manager now for this show because we've gotten a little bit busy. It's
exactly.
getting crazier and crazier to try to get some people on. But so speaking of that, so tonight we've as I mentioned when we first started this, we've been pretty busy this week, so we've been a little bit disorganized in terms of who we're bringing on live this week. So that's why we never mentioned. But we've got two people coming on. We've got somebody that's actually has been. So I got a message today talking about the scripts and how they were able to book some appointments and stuff like that. It was really exciting. I asked them if they wanted to come on Whiskey Thursday, talk about a little bit about the experience and all that. So they're a marketer that's been getting some good experience. And so they're going to pop on for 15, 20 minutes and just talk about that. So that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then I have one of my first clients so this is actually not one of my first clients. This is my first client that is popping on live tonight. And I still do work with them. So this is one of my curious students. If you're part of Dan's group or some of the other groups out there that talk about the curious student, this was one of these curious students that I had done, turned into a client, and we've been doing ads for him since the beginning. So he's going to pop on tonight and talk about his follow-up system, which I think is going to blow everybody away because it is so simple. And you guys are actually going to recognize, some of you may recognize this client because I've talked about the campaigns we've run in the past for this one. So that's kind of cool. So he's going to pop on around 9:30, 9:45 or so.
I think for the people that are running Curious Students to get clients, we may have to run that, run through that sometime and go over what that should look like. Because I saw a post in the group this week about somebody talking about, they don't want to be the guinea pig for us to test things out, right? And that's not the way the Curious Student should go when you're posting it. So we might have to re-go through that or something like that. Revisit that one.
And for anybody that's part of Dan's program, the way he teaches it, which is, I think, is a great method as well, like especially for starting out. And I get it, like trials typically don't turn into paying customers because you're basically like the framing's not, that great where you're pitching something that's free. So the expectation is that this is going to be free and so on, but it's awesome to get results, right? And it's a great way to test. It's a great way to I guess make your skills, that much better. And but so the client that's coming on tonight was somebody that I reached out to my network. So where Dan teaches, like going out on Facebook and posting out the Curious Student and adding business managers and things like that. What I ended up doing is I just reached out to my existing network and people that I knew that were business owners, real estate agents, friends, family, and things like that. And then, sent out a very similar script to, basically I'm starting out in the business. This is what I'm doing. Anybody interested? This client responded and said, "Yep, I'm interested, and let's try this out." So that's So that's who's that's going to be
clearly works. We're going to see that tonight.
That definitely worked because that Curious Student led to a $47,000 client. So it took 6 months, but it was a big client. Yeah. So it definitely worked for sure.
Great results, right?
Yeah, we got good results, and we still have a client. It's been a year and a half, 2 years now or so, and we still have the same client. So it's been good.
Yeah. So Jay says he's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Awesome, Jay. Glad you're here. Denise is in Phoenix. What's going on, Denise? Olivia says she's live. Let's see here. Denise is a marketer with 2 clients. Doug is here. He's a marketer. Phil says, my homies. What's going on, Phil? Let's see here. Frank Hernandez, hashtag super live. He wrote out hashtag. He didn't actually
super live.
I don't know.
Good. Because you know what? That drives me crazy. I still don't understand why you keep asking people to hashtag live.
Why not?
I don't understand.
Is that
because everybody else does it?
I don't know. I really don't. Daniel says, I'm hero. I mean here. But he put a little Superman character, so I think he meant hero and then still meant here.
Awesome.
Joe is live. Zach says, I've never been invited back. Correct, Zach. Olivia says she's in West Palm Beach, Florida. Awesome. I love West Palm Beach. I went scuba diving there in college, and it was amazing.
Nobody cares.
I know. Hashtag nobody cares. Or don't hashtag and just write nobody cares. Whatever. Joe is an agent in Grand Junction, Colorado. He says GJ, but I know Joe, so I know where he's at. Connor's here. What's going on, Connor? What's going on, Joe? Shin's here. Awesome. What's going on, everybody? All right. Hey,
so we should for anybody that wants to vote to have Zach back on, let us know.
Yeah,
I'm totally game to do that again.
I am too. We'll do a rerun. That's one of our lost episodes.
Yeah, so we still have. So for anybody that is new or just tuning in or missed the episode with Zach, we did that about 2 months ago. The next morning, that live was the longest live we ever had.
The longest, the loudest, the
loudest. It was the worst. So bad that we. What's that?
Normally we'd run out of drink, but we knew it was Zach, and so we're like, we'll bring enough, and then we went through all of it in a span of 3 hours. It was a mess.
Yeah, so a 3 hour live with Zach. It was insane. But it was so bad that we ended up deleting it the following day because we didn't want anybody else to see it. So
one got a little too whiskey Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay,
but
so we
plans are to edit that video, at least all the bad parts, and we're gonna. I think we should sell the unedited version
yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know about that. Let's
top
see.
to the top bidder or something. So
Just to one person. One person, they got to sign an NDA. They cannot share it.
that's right.
Highest
One
bidder.
person gets a copy. But
Katina Johnson says she's a marketer in Detroit and she has her first real estate client.
no
Awesome,
kidding.
Katina. Actually, I'm in the Metro Detroit area as well. So, way to
Good
go.
stuff. Welcome,
Good
Katrina.
area.
I
Steve
love
DeLawrence says,
Detroit.
hey. Yeah, you do because it's not that far from you.
No,
It's like the closest piece of
it's
America to
it's
where
an
you
epic city. It's an epic city. Somebody said I need to get some sleep. What's going on here? I don't need a nap.
Somebody, you mean Zach. Zach said you need a nap. Of
I
course
don't
he
need a nap. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Shin says, bring us back or show us the replay. Or bring Zach back or show us the replay.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely edit that video and post it at some point. It was good. I think for the majority, like having Zach on, he's so experienced. I have a lot of respect for this guy, and I like, Zach's a great marketer. He's done really well, and so for the majority of the first 2 hours of that live, I think was very, very good. The end of it, I think was, I think we ended up stopping it when Zach passed out.
Passed out or blacked out or something like that.
So, yeah, it was just, yeah. Anyways,
was
but
pretty
yeah. So I'm going to fire off a link here to one of the marketers, get him on board. We're going to talk about the conversion scripts and his success with those.
Yeah, well, which product did he get? Because I wasn't sure if he got the master class or the conversion class or
both. So
okay.
So both. So he basically the October 3rd masterclass, he's applied that, and then also the conversion scripts with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to talk about his results and what he's got. He's pretty excited, and from the messages I got from him earlier today, I was like, listen, let's get you on and talk about that.
And that brings me back. We were just talking about the curious student. Like, the curious student is great, but you don't have to talk as if you don't have a clue what you're doing, guys, because we have, between the October 3rd masterclass and the conversion mastery class, between those two master classes, like, you can know exactly what you're doing and run a campaign that works. Okay. Like, you don't have to test stuff on a client. Like, you have campaigns that are working. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Like, even if you don't have those now, you go out and get a client. They give you a $500, $1,000 retainer, whatever. You go grab these master classes, you're still way in the black and you're providing results right away. So
for sure,
that is, I mean, that's, I think, what a lot of us have done when we started. We didn't quite know what we were doing, but we knew that we could buy the course to figure it out as we went live with it, right?
Okay, link sent. Sorry about
that. No, I was just saying that a lot of us have.
I was listening.
Oh, you did. Okay. Oh. Cool.
Have to repeat yourself.
My bad.
So hey, a couple of updates while we wait for. So it's Doug that's going to come on board here. So a couple of updates. So we've been working on, for anybody that's in the paid to pitch, we've been actually working on some live events, and we're going to test this out. So I think some of you've seen the event that I posted on my personal page. But so Matt and I are doing we're going to try and do 3 events, basically following the paid to pitch stuff, and see how it goes. So we'll report back some of those results. But if anybody wants to see the landing pages that we're using or anything else that we're doing, let us know. Excuse me, we're happy to share some of that. But what I'm really excited about is being able to share some results from that. I know Matt's been working really hard at the cold email stuff. We've been really working hard at some of the landing pages and things like that. So I'm pretty excited to get that done.
Working
over the next
very hard. Maybe not the most effective method, but working very hard at it.
Absolutely.
So Doug
I got Doug here coming on board.
Doug, and which Doug?
Yeah. Douglas Doutra.
Okay. Doug Eisen says, I have a realtor in a 3-month trial. We're starting the 3rd month, delivered over 100 leads. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Delivered over 100 leads, no sales yet. He's using another agent to follow the leads and asked me what was going on. Said he has a number of realtors watching him, and if I make this work, I'll have a lot of clients. But right now, no conversions, about 1 month left. He goes on to say, even if I get one lead, he will sign up. Well, you've gotten 100 leads. So this is a difficult thing, right, Shane? Because we can bring in the leads, but it's up to the agent to convert those. And not all agents are created equally. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to talk to some agents who have done well with this, and we can talk to them about what they're doing in order to do well with this. However, you've got to be careful on your trials, because you can end up, like I said, you're in a 3-month trial. That's a long trial. Shane, you typically recommend 7 to 10 days. Is that right?
Yeah, like 7 to 14 days, 7 days, as little as possible. I mean,
But
the idea is really
right?
yeah, I mean, the idea is really, what you're trying to do is all you're trying to do is prove that you can generate leads in a specific area. You really have to be careful that your trial, the success factors of your trial aren't to generate results. The results should really be, can I generate leads in your market? And that's really it. And if you can prove they can generate leads in your market, then
okay, it's a
then
paid trial. Doug said it's a paid.
Okay,
that's much better. Much better. I'm very happy with that. Happy to hear
paid
that.
trial's much different. Yeah. And the reality is that most of these leads, a very small percentage of these leads will convert, 3 to 4 months. If you get lucky, maybe 2 months. If you get really lucky, you might get one in the first month, right? And I think part of the goal is always to try, like, maintain constant communication with your client, and trying to figure out what the solutions are to the challenges. Whether that's, okay, I can't connect with my leads, then how do we solve that? I can't convert my leads to appointments, how do I solve that? I can't convert my appointments to a transaction, then how do I solve that, right? So it's one step at a time. There's nothing easy about this niche. It really isn't.
It really is. It's not. It's one of the most difficult niches out there, I would say. Not to get leads, but to retain clients. Ian says, I have
to
lots
get the results as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because, and that's the retention issue. They might not get results. We'll get leads.
Let's bring Doug in quickly, and then we can answer some of these other questions or comments or anything like that. Okay, so Doug, here you go. I think he's waiting patiently here.
Ian, if we don't get to this question, just ask it in a little bit, and we'll get there.
Let me. Doug, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You hear me?
What's going on, Doug?
Let me. Can you hear Matt?
Yeah.
Doug? Or is it frozen?
Yep. Can you hear me? Or
we can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I took your guys' masterclass and conversion script, apply them both, and then just yesterday, I kind of stalked one of my clients to make sure like he showed up to his appointment. Because I had I set up an appointment.
You stalked your client.
Yeah. So that way, because I was afraid like the lady wouldn't show up, the potential buyer, and so I stalked them both at the Starbucks meeting. So I set up the meeting place. It's a halfway point between my realtor's house and the lady's house. So I was like, hey, so I was going back and forth between the messages.
You were doing the calls?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's before we get into that, let's back up a little bit, okay? Because I just
there's so much here.
You're digital. So okay, Doug, let's make a proper introduction. Welcome, Doug, to Whiskey Thursday. Nice to have you. I know your wife is with you as well.
Yeah,
I can see her in this. Yeah, I see her a little. So welcome to you both. What's her name? Jenny, right? Is it Jenny?
Yeah,
Jenny. Okay, so welcome. So my understanding is, and Doug, you've been around in the group for quite some time now. You're watching some stuff. You bought the master class. You bought the conversion scripts. And you're active in the group. You're helping people out and stuff like that, which is awesome. So thank you for that. So you've got a real estate client. You've been generating leads for your real estate client. Your wife does the follow-ups, is what my understanding. So you basically hired your wife or con her into doing the follow-ups for you, which is what I've done with my wife.
I mean,
So, so your wife, so you're generating leads for your real estate client, and then your wife is doing the actual follow-ups using the scripts from the follow-up lead conversion mini course that we have put together. And so this is what we're talking about right now is the result of that. So you actually were able to book an appointment. You stalked your client.
yeah.
I'm sure you were nervous that the lead would not show up, because that happens a lot. So tell us about, to give us a little bit of background. Tell us a little bit more about sort of your progress, and then what happened today or yesterday. Sorry, with the meeting with your client.
So I've been working with him for about a month and a half, first as a trial, and then he kind of took a break for 2 weeks to kind of figure out if he still want to advertise on Zillow or if he wants to go with us. So there's about a 2-week break-in. So about a month and a half into him, he's kind of out of state. He's not here in Seattle. He's from Dallas, Texas. So,
which is a very competitive market, actually.
Yeah, and so he has a hard time connecting with leads here. So yeah, we use the scripts. In fact, we started using the scripts as a way to put it into the messenger bot as well, into the chat bot. And so the masterclass was pretty cool. People started asking for price ranges on homes like 500,000, 700,000. So I was able to book.
And that's running the ad from the October 3rd masterclass?
Yeah.
But you were getting people asking for $500,000, $750,000 houses?
Yeah, exactly. So
I
thought it was a Jedi mind trick. I'm just like, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense, but okay, here we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's one of the questions we get all the time. Like, will this only work for like low price houses? And it's like, no, because everyone is looking for a deal.
Yeah. I was thinking more like retail type of scenario, or if you say 90% off or something. That's what I was thinking in my head. And people would go for that, but something to do with real estate, buying homes, I think people are a bit more open to expanding their budget. So I don't know.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So you started running it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you started running it. I'm curious, what were your lead costs?
26 cents.
Yeah.
26 cents. Hi guys, I'm the Quan in the household.
Hello.
So Doug cannot do any math, so I do all the math for him. It's 26 cents up to $2.62.
Yeah.
Wow. And the highest we run for luxury ad spends are like luxury home and condo ads. It's about $10 per lead, and they're all high quality leads. Like we reach Amazon worker in Seattle area, people who are engineers. So yeah, back to Doug.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I think you've posted your screenshots, Doug, inside the group of those 26-cent leads. So I know you've sent me some as well. Again, guys, this is you got to remember, this is Seattle too. Like this is a super.
Seattle. Wait, is he in Dallas or in Seattle? I'm confused.
So client is from Dallas, Texas, but he moved to Seattle. Not sure. I think it's family or work. I'm not sure, but
so he doesn't have a database here.
No, he's wiped out.
No. I think that's great, because a lot of people are like, well, I need my database to do this. I need my database to do that. And while that's all good, like if you have a database, it's great and you can work it as much as you can. But for the people who don't, the fact that this is working is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, my targeting is straight up downtown Seattle, Ballard, Fremont. Where I live, like right across the street, there's a townhome house that's going for like $1.2 million. It's a pipe dream for me. But
it's across the street, so it can't be that much of a pipe dream.
It's a long street, so.
Okay, fair enough. fair enough.
So I'm curious to know, why did you start doing the follow-ups?
So generating the leads from a mixed bag of from the masterclass, from the property list under, median price, and I give the leads to my realtors, and there's like 20, 25 leads on the Excel sheet. I give it to them, and they go MIA, and they go cold on me. And so I reach back out to them like, hey, like any takers, anything that's going on, like what's happening. And from running the masterclass ad, they said all the leads are garbage. Like they're just garbage. They're not in my target market.
I hear that one a lot. They're not in my target market.
Like, I mean, to me, a home is a necessity. So I think,
right.
Everybody wants a home. So
that usually is a key in for me, that they're not calling their leads, or they would know they're actually in their target market. They just perceive them as outside of that until they call them.
So the client that I stalked, he persistently wanted to look at my ad copy, my targeting. So I gave him all the screenshots, but I kind of lied to him that like, okay, I will change this. I didn't change a thing. I just kept it the way it was. And so I just insourced the calling myself, and also Jenny as well. And then we were so persistent that we booked an in-person appointment, not like a call appointment. I just didn't trust him at this point. So same. And then he got back to us. It was a 2-hour meeting. So she's looking to buy right away within a month or two. And then he called.
When did this lead come in?
November 20th.
November 20th.
And when did they meet with him?
Yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive, because typically it's tougher to get somebody to meet outside of a 72-hour span. So that's really good. You got them to meet. That's somebody who's really serious.
Yeah. Very persistent.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And, this is a good lesson, for marketers that are getting into this. And I mean, you have agents that are good at follow-up, and they understand, they've done other lead generation systems and stuff like that, but then you get, every so often you get, well, not more often than, most times, you get agents that just don't do the follow-up. And so you get exactly what you experience, which is, the leads are all crap. I tried to call them and I can't get a hold of anybody. And then, you're like, you know what, I've got to make this work. So, you turn around to your wife and it's like, what are you doing? Can you do all the follow-up? And which is exactly what I did. I started, like, my wife and I hired some people, and we built out a small team. But then you start realizing that all it is just consistency and being persistent with those leads and following up with them, because these are real. They're real leads. They're people that raise their hand and said, yeah, you know what? I'm interested in finding a good deal. In your case, I'm interested in finding a good deal. But at the end of the day, a good deal is not really what I want. What I want is a $700,000, $800,000 house, and that's what's going to be, the right home for me, right? So, so that's great, man.
And I'm curious, because, like, what is your background that you were comfortable jumping on the phone with these clients? Leads.
I used to be a pharmaceutical rep, so.
Okay. You were comfortable with making some cold calls, but I mean, what is your background in real estate cold calling?
None.
Or warm calling or any of
that? Zero. None.
Okay. So you just stuck to the scripts and they worked.
Stuck to the scripts, it worked. Not just cold calling. Like, for Jenny, she literally went on Messenger, and she just literally typed it out word for word from the script onto Messenger. So we've been finding that chatbots and Messenger work for us. Texting, the open rate is super high.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Mixture, a little bit of everything.
That's great. Good stuff. And we haven't talked to a lot of people about the conversion course or the mini course. How did you, like, is everything explained properly to you? Like, is everything, like, do you have any feedback? Is there anything that you might feel that would be better? If we were to change something, is there anything missing that that you might be able to benefit from? I know some people have been asking for seller scripts, so I think that's something we're probably going to be working on. But otherwise, like, was it fairly simple to understand and execute?
I don't know. What do you think? Was it?
Well, I didn't take the course. I just helped you call. You hired me yesterday, remember?
So you basically printed off the scripts and say, here, follow these.
So exactly. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of like if someone says no, then it's like, okay. It's kind of, if they say no, okay, then let's follow through the no objection. What goes after that, the next step. And so it's like a yes or no. And, so you have two options to lead down the conversation, but sometimes people just hang up on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, crazy talking. So
yeah, it's funny though, because sometimes people will hang up and you call them back a week later, 2 weeks later, or you call them back, 10 weeks in a row, and eventually they pick up and they're like, yeah, no, we want to buy a house.
Yeah.
We just thought you were calling about our credit card or something.
Yeah, we've got leads right now from like 6 months ago that we're booking appointments. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joe commented earlier because he's in one of my other classes that I did a while back, and he said his leads, they're 6 to 12 months out, but he's got multiple. I don't know, Joe, put it in the chat, how many you're working with currently. But last I knew, it was like 3 or 4 buyers and sellers. So, I mean, the stuff works.
Yeah. That's great. Well, listen, Doug, we're not going to keep you on. I know I said, 15, 20 minutes or so. I love the story. I love the fact that you're generating 26-cent leads.
But let's hear the rest of the story real quick.
Okay,
so
sure.
You went and you stalked the agent and the client at a local, was it coffee shop?
Starbucks, yeah.
Okay.
Jenny set up the meeting and the time. So, so as soon as she was typing with the buyer, she just hopped on the call with our clients, like, hey, so and so wants to meet you halfway. Because of traffic, like, what can you do? Like, which time can you make it work? Like, this lady wants to see you. So, so then Jenny and I were freaking out. So we hopped into our car that very day. And we're like, we're gonna stalk them, make sure like these two people like have a great meeting, and champagne everywhere. So
like the realtor cupids over there.
This is the first. I've never heard a marketer stalk their clients' meetings.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So just to finish up, but so our client called back Jenny. He's like, I didn't change a thing, by the way. And so he kept asking me to change my targeting. He called back and he said, hey, I met with the lady for 2 hours. We had a great conversation. I don't know what you did with your targeting, but it's a great targeting selection.
And let me tell you this, mom is my mom is my targeted people. I also deal with a lot of Amazon tech worker as well. So make sure you stay your targeting for moms and tech worker in Seattle. So that was the feedback that we got from the meeting.
That's great. Well, that was the agent that was telling you that.
Yeah, nothing has changed. We got the leads in Thanksgiving, and that's the same thing from a trial period. But this guy just never wanted to call the leads because he feels like the last name is quite funky. Yeah. So he doesn't want to call.
It's just crazy.
So I'm still not changing a thing. So
right,
yeah, that's awesome. Well, listen, it works, and congratulations, again, if you implemented the October 3rd masterclass, you went ahead, implemented the scripts from the lead follow-up scripts, and it does work. I mean, that's the thing. Like we book, like our team's booking, 20% of the leads. I've got one ISA that's too good that books, 25, 30% of the leads just following those scripts. And they're all from Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Matt.
They work. I mean, that's just it. The problem is that the agents don't follow up and they don't believe, and this was one of the big things that when Matt and I started working, Matt noticed right away with our team was that the ISAs already had made up their mind. And I talk about this, that our team had made up their mind that when they're calling the leads, that the leads won't convert. They are not interested. So in just changing your mindset, your tone changes, everything just changes. And then, and that's the furthest thing away, from the truth. The leads are interested. It's just you've got to push them. You got to push them to those appointments. You got to find out more information, find out what the motivation and so on, right? So it's great. I'm really happy you're getting some results with that. That's awesome. Matt, you want to add anything?
No, I'm just stoked that he like followed the client, made sure it happened, and then the client called him back, so excited. And what was the price point on the property they were working with?
700.
750.
750.
Okay, so they want to buy a $750,000 house. So that'll only pay for your services for like what, a year and a half or something?
Yeah, she might bend over a bit. I mean, you know, probably a little higher because yeah, Seattle's a crazy market and people are willing to show up for it. So
well, and that's the funny thing is once you go out and you show somebody houses in 750, they go, okay, maybe I want to go up to $1 million, $1.2 million. You know, I've had that happen personally when I'm working with clients. They're like, yeah, we want something in the 500-600 range. And I'm like, all right, perfect. We'll go look at them. And they look at them and they're like, ugh. They call me back a week later and they're like, we want to see this one. I'm like, it's $1.3 million. Are you sure? And they're like, yep.
Yeah, a big portion of like I think statistically, like the majority of buyers are always like they buy above their budgets.
Yeah,
or at least you know what they want to purchase. So that's awesome. Well, listen, Doug. Listen, thanks so much for, of course, your support and I'm really happy with your results and stuff like that. I hope you keep pushing that masterclass and hopefully that keeps working out for you. Keep sending us results because we love seeing those. Makes us really happy. So 26-cent leads, guys. Who wants 26-cent leads?
Who can beat that, right?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty cheap ones in the group. So, but 26 cents, I think, yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Is that the record or?
What's that?
It's pretty close. I think it's pretty close to the record.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're watching right now and you have the masterclass and you've been running the ads for it, post in the group post in the group. Let us see what some of your results have been.
I think that's a big problem too with the masterclass. A lot of people are. I think it's one of those campaigns that it is harder to position with the real estate agent because they're kind of, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be in that space, or, you know, I'm afraid I'm going to get crappy leads or anything like that. The reality is that everybody's looking for a deal. Everybody, the person that's buying $1 million house is looking for a deal. The person buying a $500,000 house is looking for a deal. The person that's selling their $750,000 house is looking for a deal. I'm looking for a deal. You know, investors are looking for a deal. You get a really good wide range of leads with that campaign, and I think it's really important to frame it properly and try to change your client's mind about this, and just get them away from thinking that okay, you're just going to get a bunch of crappy leads, because that's not the case. And this is just more proof, right? And I think Matt, same with your clients too. Like they've been getting good results with this campaign. We've had other clients get really good results with this campaign. It generates a crap ton of leads, and pushing them through the bot is definitely a great way to quickly qualify those.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you'll have probably about 40% go through the bot.
Yeah.
And probably about 50% of those finish it. But still, that's a huge advantage.
For sure.
To have that information, it just helps you so much when you make the call.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Hey, Doug, thanks. Thanks for popping on. And again, thanks for your support in the group and everything else. We're going to let you go. We're going to bring on our next guy.
Thanks you and your wife.
Yes, that's right, Jenny. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Jenny.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Wow, I love that. I love seeing those results, especially the 26-cent leads thing. Like, I don't know. I'm a big believer. Like, there's so many agents that want to fill their funnel with these high quality, and I hear it from marketers. I hear it from agents all the time. Like, what can we do to get leads that are ready to go in the next 30 days? What can we do to get leads that are here? What can we do to get leads that, definitely want to buy? Like, they just want these ready to buy, ready to go now leads.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you know how much that would cost? Like, if somebody could figure it out? And the truth is, you've got Zillow, you've got Realtor.com, you've got all of this stuff. And none of them have figured out how to do that in the exact ad copy. How they do it is you fill the top of the funnel, you call them, and you qualify them, right? And so I've always been a big believer, like, fill the top of the funnel as full as you can and qualify them. Yeah. And I think we talked about that initially too, because it's everybody's question.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I was talking to a client today as well about just keep filling up the pipeline, keep filling up, and just nurture, nurture, nurture. The thing is, the lead costs are so low right now that if you can capture them and nurture them and be, the first person to get to those leads, you eventually will be able to win them over.
Yeah.
And so eventually, it just gets more and more expensive, right? And the people that have been doing it for a long time are the people that are going to win. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got
We
so
got
the
quite a few
next.
questions coming in too.
Oh, we do. I haven't seen any
yeah.
of them. Or I'm not keeping track.
So let's see here. Olivia would like to see landing pages. A lot of us are running lead forms, Olivia. Some of us are testing landing pages, but we don't have them where we want to really show that yet because we're not, I guess, proud of them yet.
I run landing pages.
What's that?
I run landing pages.
Yeah, but we've been running a lot of lead forms lately. Like some of the landing pages, I don't know. We'll look at that this week and see if we have anything ready to bring to market. Ian says a lot of agents I've spoken to have done Facebook marketing, and most of the leads they got were dead. They didn't pick up or never got back to them with heavy follow-up process. So how do you overcome that? Well, for one, it depends on who did their Facebook ads, right? Was it a company like Boomtown? Was it a company like Bold Leads? Like, there's a lot of companies out there where they're the Walmart of real estate leads, right? They just have everything. They have everything. They're complete generalists. They don't have anything that they really specialize in. Boomtown is a CRM, okay? First and foremost, Boomtown is a CRM. Yes, they offer pay-per-click. Yes, they offer Facebook ads and stuff like that. But do you want somebody who's, I guess it goes back to like an auto mechanic, right? Like, would you go to a general mechanic to have a new turbocharger and your car programmed and all this stuff? Like, would you take your Ferrari into the Chrysler dealership, right? No, you're going to go to somebody
I'm not taking my Ferrari to the Chrysler dealership.
Right? Because it's the close one, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
I don't even think I'd take my Dodge there.
Well, that's what people end up doing, right? They end up taking their Ferrari to the Chrysler dealership. And what I mean by that is they take and they say, okay, you're a CRM company. Why don't you run my Facebook ads? Right? Like, no, that's not who you have run your Facebook ads. You need to have a specialist run your Facebook ads.
I think the other problem too. So
Mhm.
part of the issue is as marketers. So here's what I used to do. Right, I'd run the ad, I'd send the leads to the CRM system. 2 weeks
Mhm.
later, I'd follow up with my client. And it's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, all the leads are crap. We try to call and all this stuff. And okay, so how often did you try to call? Like, what's going on? So, we called a lot. There's a lot of bad phone numbers. Blah blah blah. All this stuff, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, how many bad phone numbers? And it's like, probably most of them. It's like, wow, this is really shitty. This like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I worked really hard putting the ads together. I worked really hard integrating everything, and I thought I worked hard enough to like trying to set the right expectations, all that, but it's not working out.
Right.
When we switched over to doing our own follow-ups, what we started noticing is that our clients are lying. Right? So I've got one client right now where we get about 5% bad phone numbers. That means 95% of the leads are good leads. That good as in we made contact with them. That's one client.
Yeah.
The most that I have one client, we had one client in Orlando where we were getting about 19 to 20% bad phone numbers. Now you remember we call all of our leads. We call them all. So it's still 20% is not all leads. There's a big difference between 20% and all leads. However, the perception to the client is when they try and call a lead and it's a bad phone number, and then they call another one and it's a bad phone number, guess what? All the leads are bad now, right?
Yeah.
Or if they call one lead, two leads, three leads, and they can't get a hold of them because they're calling an hour later or 2 hours later or next day, then all the leads are bad.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And a lot of marketers are running into this, right? So
I did it as a new agent, man. I mean, I had Zillow leads that I was paying an arm and a leg for when I first started out in real estate. And like, I would get a lead and I'd just think, okay, that's my lead. Like, I knew other people were going to call it, but what are the chances they're going to work with them, right? Well,
right.
Apparently really good. Apparently really good, because I made $0 off of my first Zillow investment,
So the question is, how do you solve this, right? So as a marketer, you really need to sit down with your client and basically, and we talk about this in the conversion course, right? Where it's you and on how to diagnose the problems, right? So you cannot rely on what the client is saying. The only thing you can rely on is on the actual numbers, right? So how many leads did we generate? How many actual leads were bad phone numbers? How many did you try and call within the first 5 minutes? How many were you able to connect with, right? Like, you have to go through those steps, or charge your client double and get somebody else to do the phone calls. Or like Doug did, if you have a wife that can do the phone calls, get your wife to do the phone calls, or your husband to do the phone calls, right? Yeah. I mean, it's
or do the phone calls yourself, right?
Exactly.
I mean, because you want to show that it works, right? Because that's the perception, is that I'm getting all these leads, but none of them are good, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be able to show that they work, and those are both ways to do that. Call them yourself, have somebody call them, or hire an agency to call them, right? Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think. Agentology does it. ISA Experts does it. Jill's office. I don't know if they do it. I mean, there's so many.
Jill's office will do it with custom scripts and stuff. They're pretty cheap. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many places. My Outdesk has virtual assistants that you can hire for certain hours, and they'll do it, right? Which, that's a little bit more expensive, but still, there's a lot of options out there. Like, jump on one. Just jump on one. If you can sell that to the client, they're going to be happy with the results.
Yeah.
Now,
and the other thing too to remember is, I get this question a lot. I'm sure you get this question a lot. Is how do I improve the quality of the leads, right? Like, how can I improve getting better leads so my clients don't have to spend as much time to, do the phone calls and convert more of those leads, right?
Yeah. I started adding on my lead forms, like, if you're not serious about buying real estate or selling real estate, please don't fill this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
We've done, I think between you and I, we've done enough ads now to know that the reality is this is just a numbers game. Like, this is, you want to add a ton of questions to your lead forms, go ahead. You're just going to increase the price of your leads. You want to start qualifying through chatbots, or you want to run straight to chatbots, what's going to start happening is you're going to get me that don't want to opt into chatbots. So you're going to miss out on a lot of that stuff, right?
Right.
There's no magic here. Exactly, but there's no real magic here in terms of how can I really increase the quality of that lead. And what you need to do is you need to generate a lead and make a phone call. Generate a lead, make a phone call. Generate a lead, make a phone call. That's all there's to it, right? It's or spend your money on Google AdWords. Like, it's one or the other,
Higher intent.
Exactly, get higher intent leads through Google AdWords. Like, it's, but I mean, it's, and we're seeing it time and time again with the clients that we do work with, the ones that are making the phone calls, the ones that are following up with their leads. They are converting those leads into actual customers. And we're going to talk to a client right here where he's converted.
And let me run through a couple more of these. Let's see here. So Svetlin, I think I said your name right. Any suggestions for a good CRM I can recommend to my agent to follow up with the leads that I can generate for them? Lion Desk would be my first choice, and go with the Pro plan, which is like $49 a month, because it'll get them a higher deliverability rate in their emails.
Yeah, Lion Desk or FirePoint is another good one. Follow Up Boss is another good one.
FirePoint, I have mixed feelings on, because you have to do email parsers, and it's
okay. Well, I have mixed feelings about Lion Desk. If you want to talk, fucking
but
problems.
I dealt with Lion Desk for 2 years, or not Lion Desk, with FirePoint for 2 years, and so yeah. Anyways, you guys sauced yet? We're working on it, Chris. So Olivia says, "What are some good follow-up questions?" Olivia, there's a lot of good follow-up questions. The biggest one would be probably, tell me more about that. Mm-hmm. So when you ask a question,
give me a second. Just give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
I'll keep running through these. Let's see. So Joe says, consistently applying the follow-up. Some people don't answer for the first week or even more. They got a belt going on in that car, apparently. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but wow. Anyways, consistent follow-up. That's huge. That is huge. Let's see. Joe says Messenger and texting are working great for follow-up. Awesome. Ian, recomment. Yep, we got that one. Olivia says, so you guys contact the leads every month until they convert, or curse you out and say to stop calling? Pretty much. But I would say it's more often than every month. Every day for the first 5 to 10 days. And then probably every 2 to 3 days for the next couple of weeks. So Doug says, what's the average conversion ratio for listing ads? It depends on the ad, but typically we're going to be at right around 1 to 2%. Like from whatever we post online, it's 1.8% for online leads in general. And Realtor.com and Zillow claim 3.8%. What you have to remember with Zillow and Realtor.com is they're selling those leads to multiple agents. So yeah, 3.8 sounds amazing compared to regular leads that are 1.8, but double the rate, and they're selling it to multiple agents. So that's what they're converting at. That's not what your agent's converting at. Also, the cost is about 10 times as much. So not nearly as much worth it. So Joe says, this is a comment from earlier when I was mentioning Joe's been running some of these ads. He says,
AJ, did you notice?
Hey, all right, what's going on, AJ?
You didn't notice. You're running through
I'm running through the comments, so I couldn't see anything. All right, we'll come back to
I just thought I was in limbo still.
No worries. We'll come back to you, Joe.
So,
let's do an introduction.
Yeah, a quick introduction, because honestly, this is a rock star here. So, AJ Plant joining us from. So AJ is actually the regional owner of Exit Realty in Eastern Ontario. One of my clients. And Matt meet AJ, AJ meet Matt, and then everybody else Matt. On the live. AJ is a special guy, and he is, as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the best real estate agents I've worked with out of all my clients. But AJ's, you're very welcome. AJ is also on a mission to make a whole bunch of money in 2019, which is pretty cool. AJ started his own group.
I like those kind of missions.
That's good. And mostly because I got 4 kids, but yeah.
Yeah, right. But he's also been, you've been a real estate agent for almost, 20 years now, right?
No, 15 this year.
15, okay. Yeah. So 15 years. You've done very well in your career. You went ahead and bought not just a franchise, but the entire region of Exit Realty. So you basically own the brokerages across Eastern Ontario.
Yeah. So the master franchise rights. So I sell the franchises and then help the brokers manage them. Well, they manage them themselves, but I kind of coach, train, teach, have some fun, do a little bit of real estate on the side. So yeah, it's great. It's good. It's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. So and so what's really interesting, AJ, is that you understand both sides of this. You understand the marketing side of it because you've done a ton of marketing for yourself. Yeah. You've done a ton of marketing for other agents that are below you, people that you've recruited. But you also see the struggles that new agents have, that experienced agents have, broker owners have. You also see not just brokerages, new brokerages that are building in your region, but across North America. You're in the US, you're in Canada, all over the place. So you've got a really interesting outlook on everything.
I never thought of it that way. It's good.
No, you really do, because when you and I talk, it's insane. So,
and AJ, I guess, what is do you have a team currently that you're working with? I know you have all the agents underneath locally.
Yeah. So what happens is I have their brokerages that do their own thing, and then I'm out selling the franchises and stuff. But I also have I do some real estate. When I say on the side, generally, I started back. 3-4 months ago, Shane? Because on average, I was doing between 50 and 75 deals a year with an assistant. I never had a team, and now probably 30 transactions I'll probably do in the next few months or so. So what's interesting about what Shane does is my sound's coming in okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So what's interesting about when Shane and I first started talking about this is is the online leads. And the first thing that I really understood is that there's 2 components, and you might cut me off if I'm rambling here, but there's really 2 components to the whole kind of adventure in generating leads, right? It's you generate the lead, which is seemingly simple when you're talking just a random lead, right? So it can be from a door knock, a cold call, Facebook, whatever technology that you guys use. And then you once you generate that lead, then what happens is a person tends to get greedy because that lead becomes now, as you guys mentioned, a crappy lead. But we realtors forget that that lead is a human being, right? Unless it's a robot or a bot or whatever you guys call it.
No, but I love that. I love that.
Right.
The lead
So,
is a human being.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so many people miss that.
So it's a human being. There's either an email, or assuming it's the right email and phone number. But what happens is once you start getting those leads, then all of a sudden it's almost like the realtor gets greedy because they want it to be handed to them on a silver platter, then a gold platter, then maybe a platinum platter, then maybe a Bitcoin platter. So it just kind of goes through this crescendo of oh my goodness, Shane, you're not producing me great leads. Well, okay, well you got the lead. You called the lead, you set up a call for me, you got every single piece of information, but because they're not buying in the next 2 weeks, it becomes a crappy lead. But 3 months ago, that random lead was an awesome lead, right? So that's the first component, is generating. And then the second component that you guys are doing well is you're doing, whatever form of follow-up that you've done, and I've experienced Shane do. The problem is that the fortune's always in the follow-up, and realtors have a tendency to forget about the fortune. Right. So,
well, what's that statistic? Like, what is it? Like 87% of clients would work with the realtor if they could remember who they worked with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a very National Association of Realtors put that out a few years ago. So what's curious about what you guys do is it's so, like, it's an art, right, to generate good leads. And my definition of good lead is that their phone number is real or their email is real.
Right.
Because if they don't close on the first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 months or a year or 2 years, that's still fueling my database. And that database, let's say, Shane, you gave me, I don't know, 2,000 emails over, let's say, a period of 12 months. And I actually followed up and put them on a drip campaign. And my theory is always by the 9th time, that's when I give them a kind. I realize that you're not interested right now in my services. Hopefully down the road you will. I will follow up in the future. So unless they tell me to, go to hell or suck rocks or something, right?
Right.
They're put in there. So if you're giving me 2,000 emails or 2,000 phone numbers, the math on that, okay, just this, if you half-ass it and do a crappy job, the math on 2,000, the return over 24 months is 200 transactions. And that's if you just contact them every quarter with a crappy email or phone call.
So let's just expand on this. This isn't just some random number that you picked out. This is from real data.
Yeah. So what happens if you're contacting a past client, a present client, a future client, a cold lead or whatever? And when I say a cold lead, I mean one that you haven't done a transaction with, but you have some form of communication back and forth, right? That becomes, now call it a quasi client or an almost client. So what happens is if you talk to them between 0 and 4 times over a period of 12 months, you're going to get a 10% return guaranteed, lock solid, real, over the next 12 months from the time you've contacted them 0 to 4 times. 5 times to 8 times, it's a 20% return. 9 times or more, you're at a 30% return. So if you give me 2,000 leads, and I don't care where they come from, okay, and they could be from all over North America, Canada, the US, you give me 2,000 leads. Once I've communicated and had some kind of transaction back and forth, even if they didn't buy a lick of real estate, that's 600 future deals within the next 24 months. The problem is that one person or one human being can't follow up and show that many houses and list that many houses. So, the argument is, well, I can't humanly possibly do that, but that's where teams are and referrals and all this kind of stuff. So what you guys are doing, what I'm trying to, whenever we talk, is that it's not that the realtors are stupid or lazy. It's just that they just don't understand that every time I get that lead, it's a human breathing person that sometime in the future may do business with you. But even more importantly, that person knows 250 people that may refer you. So you give me 1,000 leads, now I got 250,000 potential prospects that may do business with me. And if I'm doing a 1,000th of 1%, I'm still doing 225 deals over 24 months. So that's the magic in what you guys are doing. And I just don't understand why realtors don't get that.
So that's interesting, because you teach this stuff, right? Like you teach, you train. I know you do events all the time. You talk to realtors about how important it is in order to get to the level that the majority of realtors want to get, you talk to them about how important it is to build your database what that number looks like over time, right? And so for me, basically, there's been two things that I've always thought like it was kind of broken. One of them is that, first of all, realtors treat being in real estate as a job.
Yeah.
Like they treat it as, okay, this is a job here. I just need to do this and try to get to $100,000 a year, and then I'm done. I'm happy, right?
Well, yeah, I would almost say a lot of them treat it like a hobby.
Yeah, well, I
more
thought,
like a job as opposed to a business, right?
My first year was, hey honey, hey baby, we're gonna make 100 G's, and that's it. It's dreams over. And then I spent 100 G's, so I was making less money than I had when I had a job, right? And then until you realize what you need to where you should spend your money. Like you guys are talking 26-cent leads and $3 leads. Like to me, that's insanely, ridiculously low. I used to have billboards at $2,500 a month that all it did was make me look cool when I drove by it, right? And that was
you still have your billboards. I try to buy it. And it's like,
I have one.
Hey, there's AJ.
One bench sign in my old hood that I'm emotionally attached to. Don't judge.
That will
don't
be there
judge
forever,
me.
right?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's the thing, is that and we talked about this, Shane, too, is that what happens is when you guys are generating these leads, and then it's not that the realtors are lazy or dumb, it's just that they just don't quite understand that, okay, you gave me 100 leads. Beautiful. I converted 3. Okay, now I got 97 human beings that know 250 people each, right? Do the math. Let's say 100 times 250. That's what, 25,000 people out there in the virtual universe that could potentially do business with me, right? So there's that second component that what do I do? What do I do with the other people that, unless they tell me to, like I said, suck rocks, what do I do with that group? And that group that's what we do, is we put it into our database, and it's a slow drip. And if I can contact them, 0 to 4 is 10%, 5 to 8 is 20% return. 9 plus 30% return, and those are future. My database is actually my business. It shouldn't be thought of as a lead generator. It's my business that's a breathing, living, sellable thing. The lead generation system, I should have 1 or 2 lead generation systems. So let's say one is the online leads, and the other one is, I don't know, door knocking or referrals, right? So now I got that one system that's feeding that database, and then I got my clients that refer me all day long, and then I got that. Oh, hey, AJ, you sent me like 4,000 emails. I'd like to buy that $1 million home. Do you think you could help me? It becomes it's gravy on top of, and now you got a measurable business that makes sense. And what you guys do is so measurable and so analytical. A guy like me kind of, but get the person, talk to them, follow up, email, funnel, bot, robot, Z-bot, however that works. And then it comes out of the other end, and all I have to do is say, hey, how you doing? When do you folks plan on moving? How long have you lived there? Where did you move from? If you could move, where would you move to? And when would that be? And just keep doing that until they say yes or no, or here's my friend that wants to do it. I don't yet, right? So anyways, that's kind of how I see the whole thing. So when we did that fun one there, 43 leads I got.
Let's talk about that campaign. This is the campaign that I talk about. So for anybody that's on the live, that's in my student group, I actually posted AJ's campaign, which was an estate sale, single listing estate sale that we did.
It was like my first listing in 3 years.
Your first listing in 3 years.
Yeah.
And we were generating leads every 11 minutes, I believe, or every 12 minutes. We were generating a lead. Great campaign. You got, in fact, so you got 43 leads into the database.
Yeah.
I never sent you the other 50 leads that I got because it was too much.
What the hell? Why didn't you do that?
They were all from the market.
I
know. I couldn't deal.
I taught your wife real estate. What kind of friend are you?
Yeah. So I just wasn't. I couldn't handle the amount of leads that were coming in for that campaign. So, anyways, are you going to send me the other 50 or what? They're still good. No, they're I'll explain to you offline what happened
Okay.
with that. But anyways, we generated 43 leads in 48 hours. I think we spent $230 on your campaign.
Yeah.
Which was a great campaign. Very, very. The listing was perfect for what we wanted to do, and I tell a lot of people, like, when you're doing individual listings, you're looking for specific things. Your listing was sort of at the top of what I would want to use to generate a lot of leads, which was an estate sale, and it was below market value. So it was about $40,000 below market value, a 3-bedroom home, and an estate sale. So
I think it's something people miss, like, if your agent has a short sale, a lot of agents, and I don't know if you've seen this, AJ, but I know a lot of agents here, like, if they have a short sale, like, they complain about it. Like, they can't stand that short sale. Like, I had one short sale.
Yeah, no, that's great.
In the past 6 years, and I did, I think, 4 deals off of that one short sale because it was priced so low, and because it was technically active for 6 months, I had so many leads just coming to me off of that short sale. That I was able to close, like I said, another 4 deals off of that one. So I think that's huge.
Well, the crazy thing is that what happens, we get, no pun intended, but short-sighted when it comes to those, when leads like that come in, we think, well, they're not interested in my property. And then they're set aside, right? But it's just a simple, like the ones that you sent, Shane, okay? I'm still working with 9 buyers from that, closed 3 deals, 2 listings, right? And when I told Shane that,
how many was that?
But let's repeat those numbers because it's insane. Insane. You want to hear results? Look, this is what happens when you work with a good real estate agent. 43 leads, and then how many?
So I got 9 pre-qualified buyers right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I got them buying townhomes for investments because we have a thing where you can get top rent. So anyways, 3 sales, 2 listings, right? So the
43 leads, guys. 43 leads. Your leads are not crappy leads. Let me repeat that. Your leads are not crappy leads. Sorry, AJ.
No, it's good. So when no, they're not. This the stupid thing is that sometimes it's good not to know what you don't know, right? So I talked to Shane. It was the last week of the week. He goes, and I told him the results, and the other people that are there, except for two people that just weren't interested. They're in my database because I got my A and my B. My A's are my 177 referral base, and the rest just go on a drip campaign, right? And then I talk to them every quarter or call them or text them, right? So what happens is that those other people are still in the system, but the 9 pre-qualified one, this is the one that's crazy, is that on the weekend, and I'm selling houses because my son's in a prep school and my daughter does horseback riding, and my wife told me that you got to start paying for this shit. Right. So, and and you know my wife, Shane. So I was like, okay, I'll get back to sales. So what happens is that
I love it.
This weekend, I met with a guy that can rent townhomes to the city, Ottawa, where we are, and I can get top rents. I can get $1,700 where they're supposed to be getting $1,350. So I called all 9, picked up 4, and they're all going this weekend to pick up a $250,000 townhome condo. I'll probably close 2, and the other ones will come later. So if I close 1, it's good. But that's from something from 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
About 3.5 months ago, we ran that campaign.
And those are all the online leads I've ever received probably in my life, other than realtor.ca, realtor.com, like the normal listing online leads. But an actual plan, I don't know, do we do anything else, Shane? I don't think so, eh?
No, everything else we've done. So this was the only campaign we ran for you. Everything else was for agents that worked for you.
So I got an offer on 1 listing. The other one's still up. So that's 4 plus 2, 6. And we just did the 48 hours, right? So now I'm getting excited. I'm like, okay, well, I can make some decent cash at this. And when I look back, I was doing parties, doing the pop-bys, Brian Buffini, Craig Proctor.
Yeah, I thought I recognized some Brian Buffini in there.
So doing all that stuff, and it's awesome systems. But I'm just thinking in my head, well, I do that anyways, and I'm doing the parties and stuff anyways, and I'm selling franchise and doing all that. But maybe we should turn around a little bit and give me some more leads so that I can fill that funnel and get 1,000, 2,000 clients over the next, call it 18 months. So then I'm building up this massive database, because the one who has the biggest database wins. Right? Or the one who has the most alive and active database wins. Right?
Well, and I think you're talking about something that I think a lot of marketers miss, right? We're so focused on getting you leads right now, stuff that can start working right now. We want to get agents results, but you're talking about the database and like growing that database. And I think that's something, again, a ton of marketers are missing, right? They're not focused on growing that database and communicating with it effectively. And I mean, you're using Brian Buffini methods, which are like top of the line. So you're seeing results.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, you guys, the amount of stuff that comes into your, and I don't know if this is legal or not. I don't know how the tech, I could barely get onto this Facebook deal. So
The live.
the live, yes, the live, and
We appreciate your effort, AJ.
yeah,
Thank you.
the Facebook shindig, the chat face shindig, as they call it here in Ottawa. So if you guys are generating all these leads, I'm just curious. I have a question for you. You must have what 10, 50, now, yes, the leads are for your clients, but 10, 20, 30, 50,000 emails? And now,
Yeah,
if I was a realtor and I had 10, 15, 20,000 emails, or 1,000, and I went to you guys and I said, okay, so I got like 2,000 emails that I've got over the last 90 days. What do I do with it? How can I recycle that? And how can I use it to continue that funnel, right? So these are things to the amateur, new school, old school, being introduced to new school. I embrace that and see that at the front end I can make cash. And don't forget, if there's realtors that you talk to, when you're in action, right? It's simple physics. It's simple physics. When you're in action, you're going to get an equal reaction. So if Shane gives me 10 leads today, and tomorrow I'm working them, or I'm texting them tonight, and then I'm sending an email, then I'm phoning tomorrow. If I get 10, I'm in action, and the universe is going to naturally give me listings, buyers, and opportunities. Naturally. So worst case scenario, you give me 100 leads a week of crappy leads, but I'm actually working them, right? Guess what happens is I'm going to start picking up listings, I'm going to pick up buyers, and then I'm going to get into a habit where I'm actually going to start following up, and those crappy leads all of a sudden are going to start making me money and be like, holy shit, those are actually freaking good leads. What am I thinking? Right? So it just bogs my mind, but it's quite interesting. Anyways, I'm rambling there.
It's okay.
No,
this is why I love working with you, because you understand this. It's like,
well, and
the
like you
agents.
said, like mixing that old school method with the new school method of generating leads, right? Like a lot of these new school methods of generating leads like have left out the part about following up with them, working your database, growing that. I've heard, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Lance Loken out of Texas.
Yeah, I've heard,
Yeah, Lance, he calls it his data bank.
Oh, yeah, that's good, yeah.
Yeah,
That's really
because
good.
I mean,
really good. Data bank.
they work their database so hard that they actually see like 75 to 80% show up rates with their database appointments. With their database, they either know them or it's somebody that they have added to their database and communicated with them effectively. Like it's so huge.
Well, if you actually start, tell your agents, if they actually start, and you can keep this one, Shane, if you start cash calling your leads, then you can build a great data bank.
Yeah. Exactly.
Put that one in your pipe right there. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like what you guys are doing, it really does work. And the thing is that I don't know what the intimidation or what the problem is, but I think at the end of the day, if they put all their leads in one place, which you guys do, they have a script that they can follow, which you guys do, and then they have a system to follow up, step by step, and it goes through a funnel and can be recycled, which you guys do. You only have to actually work. I'm talking the realtor. The realtor only has to actually work an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. The rest is play.
Yeah.
2 hours a day. The rest is play. You're doing showings. You're doing listing appointments. You're making money. You're only working 2 hours a day, and that work is following up and doing the prospecting. It's a joke, but anyways, I digress.
Interesting. So AJ, I think what we'll do, AJ, is we'll bring you back on in 3 months from now to hear the actual transactions that have all come through from 43
perfect. That'd
leads.
be awesome. That'd be good.
And I think I have a question though, and I think maybe some other viewers are having the same question: is how do we find agents like you, AJ?
Well, it's really about agents. Well, there's and it's a good question.
Because
It's
you're a
really,
recruiter, so you
Yeah.
you would know how to find agents that are going to produce.
And nobody call AJ, by the way.
Yeah, his name is AJ Black and Mild.
yeah, face chat, Insta guy. But so very, very simple. And then I'll let you guys get back to your other stuff. Is for those that really don't quite understand the brain of the realtor, because it is think about it, cost you $2,000 and you can make $1 million a year. Like it's buy a Starbucks. Well, you can't buy a Starbucks, but buy a McDonald's. It's I don't know how many millions of dollars, and you're going to make 250 to 400,000 a year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what happens is read the book The Kaizen Way. I don't remember the author. It's called The Kaizen Way. Okay, and what it teaches in this book.
How do you spell that?
Kaizen.
Okay.
Okay. So what happens in this book is it talks about taking one little bit at a time. So your realtor, okay, I'm giving you these leads.
Mm-hmm.
All I want you to do is email them all once. Next day, take what you got, give one a call. Then the next day, give two a call. So it's step by step. And the analogy is that if I have a messy desk, in the old days, in the caveman times, the saber-toothed tiger would jump out, my body would break down, and I would just flee. Well, we don't have saber-toothed tigers today. What we have is massive amounts of online leads, messy desks, overwhelming, I got to be a $1 billion producer. And that's the saber-toothed tiger that makes us break down and flee, and that's what happens to the realtor. So if I want to clean my desk, today all I got to do is take one paper clip. Tomorrow I'm going to take 2 pieces of paper. So the same thing with the leads. If they're saying, Shane, I'm going to pay you $1,000 to give me 100 leads a week, you're actually better off saying, well, why don't you give me $500 and I'll give you 10 a week, right? And then I'm going to coach you through that process, right? And then I'm going to take the other 500 and show you how to build a database in the back end. I'm not trying to teach you how to run your business, but I'm just saying that you send them all the leads and then they panic and they're like, what the hell do I do with all this? Right? One at a time. Take it easy, take it slow. And if they get too many, then just send them to me and I'll take care of them. That's all.
And that's really, so let me just add, that's really interesting that you say that, because look at the results you've gotten with just 43 leads.
I'd rather pay you $2,000 for 43 leads and give me a week to just work them, and then another week maybe to just set it up. And then, okay, now I got these ones set up. Okay, give me another. I don't know if that's how online stuff works, but you know what I'm saying? You give me 500, I'm going to drop them under the car seat. You give me 50, I can actually work them, right?
But the problem with the marketer, and this is what's really interesting, is how do I get the cheapest possible lead, and how do I feed as many leads as possible to the agents?
So
and what ends up happening is you overwhelm them.
Yeah. So I'll leave that one up to you guys. But we should do another experiment, Shane. I got a couple couple cool properties coming up. So
sounds good, AJ. Well, listen, thank you so much, AJ, for taking the time, popping on, and really nice to have you. We'll talk to you soon. So I know you're coming to Toronto soon.
Shane, I'm gonna have to come to the next Toronto party with you.
Absolutely.
It's good. Yeah, it's good times. Shane's a wild man. All right, talk to you guys later.
Take it easy.
Take care, man.
See you guys. Bye.
Mr. Wildman here.
He's a cool guy, man. Holy
cow, 43 leads. And I could tell by the way he was talking, he's been through Brian Buffini's programs, right? Like, because he's talking about his database and the things he does. And I'm like, okay, so he's gone through Brian Buffini's program. Because, I mean...
Oops, did I lose you?
Did you lose me?
No, you're back.
Okay, good.
Nope, lost you again.
Anyways, no, I think that's awesome, man. I mean, 43
that's really, and that's really interesting, because you've talked about this before, where it's like, instead of sending 200 leads to an agent or 100 leads a month to an agent, send them less leads. So it gives them time to work those leads, and it gives you time to. And this is the way, like when AJ and I work together, this is exactly what we've done. We've built campaigns, and we've only sent a certain amount of leads, and we stop it. And the last campaign was literally 2 days. It was 48 hours. We spent $200. That was it. Done.
And I've talked to you about that, because we went over you know, the car industry is a great industry to study because they've done studies on how many leads a salesperson can actually handle, right? They have a 14-day sales cycle, 14 days, not 14 weeks, which real estate is 10 to 12 weeks typically.
Yeah.
Okay. And they say that they can handle 80 at the high. Okay. 80 at the high with a few of them going more, a few of them going less. Okay. So with real estate being a 10 to 12 week transaction time frame, we know it's less than 80, but yet we're still, and this is per month, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but we're still focused on getting people 200-300 leads a month, you know, which I totally agree with if you have a third party company doing your follow up, right? But for one agent, 200-300 leads a month, I mean, you're going to drown them because the thing is they have to follow up in order to get those sales to close. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well,
you're
even
giving them 300.
Even 100 a month is too much. Like it's
Yeah.
like it compounds every single month, right?
Yeah, because in month 3 they've got to follow up with 300 different people.
Yeah.
You know,
it becomes really
on month
tough.
600 people they have to follow up with. I mean, it's insane when you break down, you know, 10-minute conversations and how long that takes to actually happen.
Yeah. No, and this is a really good example with AJ, you know, that like you don't have to feed them that many leads. And if you got a good agent that's working them and they're willing to work that database or those leads that are coming in, that's crazy. I didn't even know that he had 7 pre-approvals from that campaign.
9.
That's crazy. 9? Nine. 9. 3 buyers, 2 listings. It's craziness. 43 leads. And like for anybody out there wondering, okay, what's the ad copy? What was the listing? What was the blah blah blah? Right. It was a listing.
He's Canadian, not German, so 9. Yes. So actually 9 that he's following up with.
Yeah. 9.
Isn't German like no when you say 9? I don't know. Anyways.
What are you talking about? I'm so lost. Anyways, any comments that we need to address before we
yes,
go?
let's get into these. We've got a ton of them.
Oh my god! I can't believe you weren't following it. You're supposed to have a notepad and going through all of these. What are you talking? now that AJ is
Joe
gone,
talking about his results. Okay, Joe's results. He had 3 under contract, awesome. 1 under contract, 3 buyers he's working with. 1 is also a seller. Meeting set with 3 new clients this month. First-time home buyers seminar for 10 new first-time home buyers off of the ads that he set. That's set up for January 3rd. Other listings in the first of the year, spring, with a ton of others that he's constantly staying in contact with. I mean, dude is generating a ton of leads, and I know for a fact he's not spending a ton on ad spend. So it's phenomenal. Awesome. Mike says link for more info about the masterclass. Mike, you know what, we'll put that in at the end here. But in the meantime, if you're impatient, go ahead and just search masterclass in the group and you'll find it. Juraj, I hope I said that right, is $2 masterclass leads, but have been as low as $1.30. Okay. He says the quality comes from the quantity, and that is totally true. And the fortune is also in the follow-up. Ian says, so what are some important things an ad needs to attract leads that would pick up? Okay, so I think Ian's talking about what kind of ads will cause the leads to pick up the phone when you call. And Shane, why don't you jump on that one?
What kind of leads? Sorry, say that again, man.
So what are some important things?
We're coming to the end of Whiskey Thursday. The questions need to be asked twice.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So what are some important things that need to be in the ads to attract the leads that would actually pick up the phone when you call?
I don't think there needs to be anything in the ad specifically to get a lead to pick up the phone.
You don't put something like pick up when we call?
No, okay, well, sorry. I will say this, though. I believe that the better the offer, the more likely a lead will put the correct information inside of the forms.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think the masterclass from October 3rd is such a compelling offer that people will put in the majority of the people will put in the right information in those lead forms. So what's going to make somebody pick up the phone? Well, okay, the reality is first of all, not everybody picks up the phone, so try text messages. Call right away. Like too many people are waiting 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 days Even today, I was talking to my ISA, and we were talking about lead follow up, and we're bringing on a new client. So she's like, "Well, I can follow up, the following day." And I'm like, "No, what are you doing? Following up the following? No, we follow up within 5 minutes. Like you're not following the following day. You follow up right away. What's going to get somebody to pick up the phone?
For me.
No, what's going to get somebody to pick up the phone is calling as many times as possible, calling as quick as possible, and that's what's going to get people to pick up the phone. That's all there is to it. And if they don't pick up the phone, leave a voicemail on the third try, and send a text message.
Yep. And Joe says, treat all leads as good leads until you know for a fact otherwise.
Oh my God, I tell my clients this all the time. All the time.
He treats Facebook leads the same as Zillow and floor calls. Okay. So floor calls, for people who don't know what that is, it's when you get the office phone for a certain amount of time. Okay. So when somebody calls into your Remax or your Keller Williams office or whatever office you're at, and they're asking for a realtor, you get to pick that up. He treats that the same as his Facebook leads, or treats his Facebook leads the same as that. And I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah. Focus on your leads until you know they're bad leads, and then keep focusing on your good leads. That's what I tell my clients.
Yeah, and follow up with your bad leads, because as we talked earlier, like, these are all humans. They're all people. Okay?
We're converting appointments now for one of our clients for leads that came in from March. From March, we're still converting appointments.
The humans, man. They don't all want to buy right now.
Yeah, I think he just said it best.
Yeah, he totally did. Alina says, question, have you guys tried incorporating your scripts with Agent Legend as the first filtering of the leads instead of the chatbot? I haven't personally, and I don't know, Shane, if you've tried Agent Legend, but
I've used them in the past, but no.
Okay.
Not the scripts, but like we don't really need them right now. So
yeah, and I mean, you can automate the beginning of the sequences, typically with LionDesk and with Follow Up Boss and different programs like that, so you don't actually need Agent Legend. But if you were using Agent Legend and you were to do that, I think you'd have a similar result to the chatbot, but I don't know that for a fact. She also says, yuck on LionDesk. It's not for everybody.
A lot of problems, a lot of bugs with LionDesk. I mean, that's part of the issue. But for come on, guys, $25, $25.
Yeah,
it's like $25, and it's got a tiered.
What is FirePoint? 500 or 50?
Oh no, I don't think it's that much money, but it's a lot more expensive, right?
Yeah,
but I mean, LionDesk is a great product if you're. So I use LionDesk for clients that already have CRM systems, and or for clients that don't have CRM systems, or just getting into it and they don't want to spend $200, $300, $400 a month.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great entry level
for sure
CRM.
But yeah, I mean, they got their problems.
Yeah, they have their problems. They're new, but at the same time, like, you cannot find. I don't know of any other CRMs that integrate with as many things as LionDesk.
No, not for $25.
No, not even for $200, from what I'm aware. As far as integration goes. Mike says, what do you use as targeting in your ads? Aaron kind of said this one best. Do you want to paraphrase?
I don't remember.
Anytime you add targeting, you're telling Facebook you can do better than their algorithm.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I believe it was something along those lines.
That's interesting.
But he also has, his targeting tricks that he teaches. But at the same time, it's true, right? Anytime you change Facebook's targeting, like, you're telling them that you know better than their algorithm. So from people that I've talked to, like, I don't know that I've seen a lot greater result after 60 days of running the same ad by running a targeted ad versus an open ad. Would you agree with that, Shane?
Yeah, 100%. So I'll clue you guys in on a test that I did last year. So I think we used 3 of our clients.
Before you jump into that, I will say, like, if I have a massive audience, I will target down. because I don't want an audience of, you know, 1 million people.
Of course, yeah. So we did. I tested with 3 different clients, $1,000 a month. I built out 3 audiences. A wide audience, a married with kids audience, and then your typical interest-based real estate audience. So realtor.com, Zillow, blah, 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 right? All that
I hate
stuff.
to interrupt, but you
do it all the time. Like, it's
I know,
okay.
but you just brought something up. You have to be careful as an agent because the rules around targeting are constantly changing, and you could be in violation of oh gosh, I'm missing the word here, but you know what I mean? You could be in violation by targeting.
Let's let you look for the word.
All right, I'll look for the word. You continue.
No, I'm going to wait for you. We're going to wait. Our audience. We're going to get.
Look for the word.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I know the word.
You really? Yeah. Of course you do, and you're just going to wait for me to flop around out of water.
Oh, come on! Somebody hashtag the word.
Come on, say it. Somebody say it. You know what word I'm looking for? You're violating.
It starts with a D. D. It starts with a D. Yeah. Well, the Fair Housing Act, but discrimination, right?
Discrimination, exactly. You're violating fair housing when you start targeting a lot of times, and you got to be careful about that.
Fuck that. Anyways, let's move on. So, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah,
children is discrimination by familial status.
Okay, so what was I talking about before you rudely interrupted me?
So you were talking about your experience,
right? So $1,000 a month, 3 different clients, wide audience, married with kids, and just so everybody, like typically when I do a married with kids, I also build out another audience that is wide open, 18 to 65. And I run those at $1 a day. So
really, 18 to 65.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to get around the Fair Housing Act, right?
No, it's true. Like if you start discriminating by age, technically it's ageism.
Well, if you start discriminating by location, that could be a problem too.
Yes, it can, because they can say that you're excluding certain people by targeting a certain location. It is so tricky. That's why you hire a specialist.
Yeah. So anyways, $1,000 a day, wide audience, married with kids, and then your interest-based targeting, which is like realtor.com, Zillow, blah, blah, right? All that like the real estate interests that we typically all use. So what I found really interesting was that the married with kids, the real estate interest started off generating really cheap leads. But after 30 days, they all caught up. I just let them run. And then after 30 days or so, the wide audience had caught up in terms of cost per lead with the married with kids and the interest-based one as well. However, as a marketer, I still like to test as much as possible. So I'll still run those 3 audiences all the time, as long as I have the budget. So if I'm operating with a $500 budget for the month, I'll typically just do married with kids, and then I'll do a wide audience as well. Again, I'm like you. I try to, if I'm working in an area that's like 1 million, or 500,000 people, I want to try to, bring that down to about 150, 200,000 people. And so I'll adjust the age range and things like that. But, that's what I do.
Yeah, so I think that would also answer Ian's question about what would you do to attract leads that pick up. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing as far as targeting goes. Let's see. Joe said the fortune is in the follow-up. Yes, absolutely. Joe's 100% right. Leads are real people. Love the thought process there. Great. Joe wants to come shadow AJ.
AJ is awesome, man. That guy, he is epic. Honestly, there's so much he didn't talk about on that, but he's got some. Anyways, I won't go into it.
Well, Mike is asking, where can we go to see more about how to do things that you're already talking about? I think he's referring to AJ. Let's see. I would say start with the book that AJ recommended. Start with the book that AJ recommended. Brian Buffini teaches follow-up for your database. Mike Ferry teaches some of that. There's a lot of people that teach it. post that in the group, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of responses. Which, by the way, if you're watching live, comment live. Or
Thank you.
live.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
And if you're watching the replay, comment replay.
Actually, we're almost we're an hour and a half into this now. So
Yep,
if you guys are still here, comment trooper, because we always love to know who's hanging out after an hour and a half here. So Thursday nights, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Whiskey Thursdays comes from Matt and I and Austin hanging out on Thursday nights, having drinks and talking business and going over ads and things like that. And then one night, I had the bright idea. It was me that came up with the bright idea.
It was you.
I'm going to take the credit. And maybe next week, Matt, you can take the credit. But
I'll take the credit.
We just started talking. Saying, hey, why don't we do live and we'll call it Whiskey Thursdays, right? And we were just hanging out anyways. Austin decided to abandon us because he's too busy or something. We don't know. He's traveling, or I think he's in. Where is he now?
We're using a hashtag. Hashtag Where is Austin, and then tag Austin Croman Whitaker. Okay. Do it, please, in the comments.
Austin's a great guy. I think he's just got really busy
notifications. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
So
he just can't handle the workload. That's the problem.
That's what it is, man. He's too busy. He's too good. So Doug is saying, what is better than Lion Desk? That's a great question. It's definitely not Top Producer. It might be Follow Up Boss. I don't know a ton about Follow Up Boss.
I work with Follow Up Boss, and I like to work with Line Desk better. There's just the way things are laid out in Follow Up Boss, I'm not crazy about. It's good though. There's nothing wrong with it's a good program, but they're both really roughly just. Line Desk has problems with the integration with Facebook and things like that. You have to use Zapier. But
I would say Line Desk is more marketer friendly. If you're an agent, I would recommend something with an IDX feed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Anything with an IDX feed. Definitely. If you can afford it, use that instead. We're talking about Line Desk for agents that, are spending $1,500, they're spending basically all of their life savings on paying you to get leads. Right?
Yeah. Yep. And at the end of the day, I know I know agents that are using spreadsheets and they're crushing it. Okay.
Well, that's what we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about that with AJ because I wanted him to talk about his follow-up process, which is the craziest thing because he's using
and real quick,
spreadsheet.
One small step to change your life. It's called the Kaizen Way. K-A-I-Z as in Z-E-N. Kaizen Way by Robert Maurer, which is M-A-U-R-E-R. Okay. Continue.
On Amazon. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but so what I wanted AJ to talk about was his follow-up system, which is basically a notepad and an Excel spreadsheet. He doesn't even use a data he uses a database to store his leads and stuff like that, but he's not using the CRM system day in, day out. He stays organized with an Excel spreadsheet and a notepad. So
anybody who works with me personally knows that I set you up on a system where you are using basically a Rolodex. You're using a digital version of it, but you're using a Rolodex. I mean, it's super simple, and it makes your follow-up a million times easier. Joe Sizzle is one of the guys who's currently using it.
It makes it easier, but it doesn't solve the problem. It won't solve the problem.
When you say solve the problem,
it doesn't solve the problem. If you're working with an agent that is good at follow-up, that's what you need. Whether they're using Line Desk or they're using Follow-Up Boss or they're using a spreadsheet or a notebook or whatever their system is. You guys everybody that's here, we didn't have Follow-Up Boss
right
5 years ago, did we?
Are you challenging my methods, Shane?
I'm just wondering, did we? Because I'm working with a client that was doing 200 listings a year 15 years ago, before the internet. So
yeah, no, before the internet,
15 years ago. Well, not before,
No,
like
it's not
before
before the
all
internet.
this became mainstream, right?
The Air Force created the internet.
Okay, before everything became
Basic
mainstream,
training.
before you had Follow Up Boss and Line Desk and Facebook ads, like,
Right.
you know, and I mean, the amount of leads they were generating was rough. It was, you know, it was done through email maybe, or it was done through phone calls or cold
And
calls or whatever.
postcards.
But they didn't have Line Desk.
No, they totally
Line
did.
Desk solve the problem.
No, it's about it, you have to have an effective system. And Shane, maybe we'll have to post something with my Lion Desk hacks that kind of make that a million times easier.
Let's move on. Sorry.
Anyways, so Doug says, "What's better than Lion Desk?" I think we answered that. Alina says, "You get what you pay for." Yeah, in most cases that is true. Joe says, "RESPA." No, it wasn't RESPA. It was fair housing and discrimination. Thank you, Matt. He also mentioned that. Mike says the results from 3 campaigns. Not sure what he's referring to. Alina says $1,000 a day! Exclamation point like 4 times. So she's like, "Holy cow!" Mike also says, "What was your call to action or offer on your ads?" I'll answer this one, Mike. It's typically click below. Shane, would you agree?
Yeah, it's click below.
Yeah. And Dan Tiemann just joined us. Dan, how's it going?
Dan, what's going on, buddy?
He says, "So do I drink whiskey?"
Dan's like the youngest marketer that I know.
How old is Dan?
I don't know, like, I think he's like, no, he drives. So I was going to say he's, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's like probably in his 20s or something. I don't know. He's a cool guy though, you know?
He says, "So do I drink whiskey at this thing too, or what?" So he must be at least 21. He says, "Austin Whitaker, and I had a lot of things, or a lot of that this weekend." So I think he's referring to whiskey.
That's right. They were together. They were sending me screenshots of.
Yes, I was getting those screenshots too. I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together of who it was. Mike says trooper. Sean says live. Matt says trooper. Joe says trooper. Alina says trooper.
Awesome, guys.
Where's
awesome. Alina?
Everything. My one mortgage dude swears by Follow Up Boss. Okay, so there's somebody who's saying Follow Up Boss works really good for him. How to do a good funnel to generate open house leads? Oh my gosh, I think that's the question, right? I've personally stayed away from open house leads just because, in my experience, the open house results are drastically dependent on the price of the open house. If you overprice that thing, like, you can market it all you want, but you're not going to get very many people there. Right?
You're talking to the wrong guy for open houses, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to speak to you as an agent for a moment. Okay. So as an agent who's held a ton of open houses, I don't know if it's been hundreds or whatever, but a ton of open houses, it really depends on a recent price drop or pricing it correct in the beginning. That has been the biggest effect on show up rates to my open houses. Alina says spreadsheet. Wow. Yes. Agreed. Joe says,
can I comment on the open house thing?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think a lot of people know where, like, a lot of people that know me and that have worked with me know where I stand. Like, I run Homes List. Like, those are the campaigns that I run. The reason why is because that's how you can scale as a marketer. They work well. They generate enough leads to get a client busy. Individual listings work well too. So why are you going to deviate from that? What are you laughing about? You fuck.
Joe said, I made an Air Force comment earlier, and Joe said, "Easy there, Air Force." Joe's a Marine, so.
So yeah, like, I don't run a whole lot of open house stuff. I have run open house campaigns. I'm not sure why you would, if a Homes List or an individual listing works. Right. Does it generate better leads? I don't think it does. And you know, if you want to run open house campaigns, build up your database and run it to your database. Yeah. You know, like, send your clients open houses to those databases. So somebody, like, a while back, somebody sent me an ad copy and they're like, "You should run this." And I'm looking at it like, why am I gonna advertise somebody else's open houses, not my clients, and then risk? Because remember, statistically, people work with the first agent they meet, right? So why am I going to risk sending my clients leads to somebody else's open house?
Agreed.
Like, I'm going to do that.
No, agreed. I mean, because if it's not your open house, for one, like the agent should be advertising it somewhat. But again, I held a lot of open houses that were not mine when I was new and I was trying to get started. And it really depended on, did they price it right, or have they recently done a price drop?
I've done open houses to Messenger, which worked really, really well.
Okay.
So straight to Messenger, no, not chatbots, but like open houses straight to Messenger. Like, hey, we're holding an open house this weekend. If you want to, you want more details, click the button and message us. Like I've done those as well. I've also done VIP events. They're open houses, but they're just VIP events, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing about?
Me and Joe are going back and forth.
Okay, well, listen. Again, like we can stop the live if you'd like, and you and Joe can have your little powwow.
Go back and forth. I know. But anyways, going back to your open house, because again,
I'm done with the open house.
Well, tell us about the Messenger, because I would say that
No, you ruined it. You ruined it for everybody on this live, Matt. You want to mess around with Joe? We're like, you want to do your little thing. I'm kidding. Hey, listen, I found the
serious, Shane.
No, I'm not serious. But I did find the. I was looking for the ad copy for.
I told him
campaign.
I told him I would create his open house flyers in crayon.
Why don't you do that when we don't have an audience?
Oh, why would I do that? It's so much fun. So much more fun when we have people.
Read the question. I'm done with the open house.
Let's see. So is your masterclass from October the only training?
This is what you do. No. I'm going to interrupt you because this is what you do when we're on the phone now.
It's so true.
You're like like now I hear you typing. I hear you clicking with your mouse is so freaking loud. We can't get anything done because you're on Facebook chit-chatting with other people. The same thing that you're doing right now.
I'm good.
Are you sure? Or do you need a moment with Joe?
I think we're good.
Okay.
So Mike is asking, Shane, is the masterclass from October the only training that you offer right now?
No.
Be nice.
No.
Okay. Come on,
Mike
wasn't just talking with Joe. You got to be nice to Mike.
Oh, Mike, I like Mike. Mike's a good guy. But listen, so no, it's not the only thing we have. We have some of our other smaller, like other courses, right? Our student program.
Well, and honestly, all of our courses right now are what, like $97? Like they're ridiculously inexpensive.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit more expensive. I've raised the price on some of them.
Okay, but still, like one client and you've paid for it, and if you're an agent, one deal and you paid for it. It's ridiculously stupid low price. And that's because we like doing these, but we can't just do these and still pay for lunch. So anyways,
let's move on. What are you talking about? Can't pay for lunch. I had a great lunch today.
I know, me too.
So listen, something that, so we've decided to go vegetarian.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, no. So I grew up vegetarian as a kid, right? And I know this has nothing to do with, I'm talking now because it's 11 o'clock. We're pretty much done this. However,
if you guys want to hear more about this, hashtag tell us about your veganism, Shane.
No, not veganism. I've gone vegetarian. I'll tell you why in a second. Yep. However, I did find the ad copy for AJ's campaign.
Okay.
That we ran, 43 leads. He's converted how many? 9 to pre-approval, 3 buyers, 2 listings.
Shane,
if you guys want to see it, I'll show it to you.
What?
I will show you the
masterclass.
No, I'll show you the ad campaign. You want me to not show anybody?
I guess
it's a simple ad.
Wait, if you guys want to see it, you gotta blow up the comments below.
It's a very, very simple ad. However, this is what we're going to do.
It's so effective. Sometimes simple is more effective.
This is what I'm going to do.
You just cost me $97.
Dude, okay, listen. All the people that are on here, there's 15 people still on this live. That means those 15 people are the people that are supporting us the most in this group, right?
All right, let's do it.
Let's show them the campaign. We'll delete the live, edit out that part of it, and then that's it, right? Okay.
All right, fair enough. Can you share
Right.
screen?
What's that?
Can you share screen and show us?
Okay, but hang on a second. I'm going to talk about I was going to talk about my vegetarianism here that I've done.
Okay, yeah, let's go back to that real quick, and then if you guys want to see the ad copy, hashtag Shane's ad copy below. Hashtag, use a hashtag.
15 people will ever see this. We're going to delete the video tomorrow because I don't want this in the live.
All
it doesn't matter. It's a simple listing, guys. It's not fucking like
yes, but at the same time, it just produced massive results.
It produced 43 leads. It actually produced just close to 100 leads.
No. You can say it produced 43 leads, but at the end of the day, it produced, what is it? 14 deals.
So you got when you guys
see listings and 9 in process.
So when you guys see this, you're going to be like, "Oh my god, this thing's so ugly."
I can't even do it. I'm going to use this time to go use the washroom, Shane. Why don't you go ahead and no? First, tell us about your veganism. Or your vegetarian.
No. Okay, so I was going to make a point here about your hunting.
All right, go ahead.
No, I grew up. No, this doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with Facebook ads, right? But
right.
I just mentioned it to you because we're friends and stuff, and we talk a lot, right? That yeah, I've decided to go vegetarian. So that's it.
And we're riding together when we do these events in January.
Yeah, so no hamburgers.
You're not offended though, like if I stop by and pick up Burger King, right?
I'm driving. We're not stopping nowhere.
Damn it.
No Burger King. No Burger
You know what? Fine. I'm going to go get my venison turned into jerky and I'm going to bring it with me.
I don't care. I really don't care. It's just a personal choice now. It's just a personal choice.
I'm messing with you. But no, so you went vegetarian. It's funny because my wife and I, we just went early mornings. So it's kind of the same.
There you go. Okay, so I go vegetarian, you go early mornings. It's perfect. Yeah. Great life change. Yeah, great some life changes. Any more questions before I bring up this ad copy?
We have a ton of questions here, but why don't you tell us about your vegetarianism? While I go use the washroom, as you would say.
Whoa! Don't leave me like this. Hang on, I'm looking for the ad.
All right. So Joe, let's see. Ian, y'all are a good team. Thank you, Ian. Matt says, if I'm just generating top of funnel buyer leads for real estate agents, do you have any suggestions on pricing? Matt, we just went over like the fact that our top of funnel lead generation is not just top of funnel. Do not underprice it. Okay. That's what I would say to you is do not underprice what you're doing. That being said, typically the ranges that we see starting out are anywhere from $500 to $1,500 retainer plus ad spend. Would you agree with that, Shane?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Matt says the truth is coming out. I don't know which one or what truth he was referring to earlier. Joe says, I love you too, Shane. Alina says vegetarian rocks. Awesome.
Who's supporting me?
Alina.
Oh, Alina, you're awesome. Okay, at least I got one support in this group.
We have a ton of people saying,
because what?
We have a ton of people saying, show us. I want to see it. Matt is a Scrooge. Come on, Alina. Matt is a Scrooge. Oh.
I've been saying that since I met you.
Whatever. Mike says, I won't tell anyone. Joe says, you rock. Hashtag favorite. Doug says, wahoo. Matt says, yep, already bought 2 of your courses. Good for you, Matt. Good for you, because it's going to change your business for sure if you're implementing on that. Richard says support. Alina says vegetarian. Olivia says Shane's ad copy. Thank you, Olivia. Finally, somebody wrote hashtag Shane's ad copy. Joe says this is why you show up to Whiskey Thursday. And we have Shane's ad copy from Doug, from Mike, Shane's whatever thing.
Is that what they comment?
Yeah, Shane's whatever thing, and then Shane's ad copy. Do you have it?
I'm looking for it right now.
All right, I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back. You gotta.
Okay, I can't entertain. Dude, I'm looking for ad copies. Can people hang? Where are you going? What? Dude. Okay, guys, you're going to have to give me like 2 minutes here to find the ad copy. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna look through this. Take a break, guys. This is the perfect time to go out, take a break, get a glass of water, which is what I should be doing. But I'm gonna find this ad copy so I can show you. I took screenshots of it, so give me 2 seconds here, guys. And all right, found it. Awesome. All right. I'm gonna wait for Matt here and show you guys. Oh boy. I wish you could see the comments, guys. Unfortunately through BeLive you can't see any comments from the group here, so Matt's been keeping track of those. But I hope you enjoy 11:10 p.m. here Eastern time. Love it that we still have 14 people on checking this out. But I did find the ad copy for you guys.
All right, did you survive?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
I found the ad copty too. And people are going to be, when I show this, people are going to be like, what? That's it?
That's true.
But I will, I'm
Mike
going to mention
more meat for the rest of us. Agreed, Mike. Agreed.
more exactly. More meat for the rest of you guys. So,
Ian says, Matt's face when Shane said about your hunting. I love it. Olivia says, my daughter is 4 and is a self-made vegetarian, won't eat meat and loves her veggies. Fantastic. My daughter won't eat anything but like cream cheese bagels and Cheerios. So you're doing better than me. Is that vegan or vegetarian?
That's vegetarian. Cream cheese bagels.
Alina says that she'll be a healthy girl. Matt says, how do I convey the value? My 2 real estate agents I've worked with are bums.
What? Bums?
Bums.
Bums. I think it's really, really tough, right? Like it's you've got to find decent agents to work with that understand this, or else it's like,
Impossible.
Exactly. Like, again, I know I was talking to AJ, it's like some real estate agents treat this like a job, right? Once they get to a certain point, or they're chasing the next best thing. The other thing too is a lot of these agents, you've got to remember, they're chasing their paychecks, right? So as soon as they get a lead from a different lead source that they feel will convert faster, that's what they're going to start chasing.
And Shane, you had brought up something interesting the other day about small businesses and what everybody's making.
Oh, well, what's really interesting about that statistic, so small, like, I don't remember what the stat was, like half of small businesses are making under $60,000 a year. But what's kind of scary is that half of all agents are making under $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big chunk of agents.
Yeah.
So it's a big chunk of agents that can't afford your services, and it's not just about affording your services. It's about, like, we have a client right now that we're working with that can't afford our services, but he's pushing, man. He is calling his leads. He is trying to convert his leads. He's working them. He's really trying to do something. So it doesn't matter if your client's not making any money, if they want to be able to get to the next step, to the next level, they will find the money to pay for your services. Agreed.
And at the end of the day, it's going to benefit them.
Exactly.
I think that's the key, is that you're actually helping people, not just leads, not just clients. You're helping people.
Yeah.
Ian is saying, have you guys ever bought in-market data and created custom audience and ran ads to them? I have not personally. And when you say in market, I'm curious to what you're referring to. But
In market. So basically, are you tracking? So there's these companies that are selling data for, basically tracking details on what people are doing on the internet, and then based on some sophisticated algorithm and just their too much wine, dude.
On Whiskey Thursday? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy! Let's just keep reading.
I don't think we have.
I haven't tested it, and the reason why I haven't tested it is because one of the things I really love about Facebook ads is that leads are not in market.
It's true.
Right? As soon as you get leads that are in market, guess what? Somebody else is representing them.
Yeah.
They're already working with another agent. They've opted into 20 other different forms. You're competing for those leads at that point.
It's true. And I've run like offers.com, which is the whole predictive analytics of who's going to move and stuff like that. I haven't found it any better than regular Facebook leads. Honestly,
the only thing about Facebook leads are just a little further out.
Well, we had a hard time with predictive analytics because we had to reach out to them. With Facebook ads, they're reaching out to us. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay, any more questions? I'll show you this ad copy here.
So Matt says, I have a meeting with an agent tomorrow that was shocked with our cheap, with how cheap I was getting leads. Might turn into a paid client. My 2 agents have been trials and both want that, buy now leads. Okay, so they want buy now leads. They don't understand the time frame of most leads. So I think that's a pre-framing issue. Would you agree, Shane?
I wasn't listening.
He has agents that want buy now leads. He has agents that want buy now leads.
Oh, it's like buy now leads?
Yeah,
you want buy now leads? Like,
so does everybody else. And they're willing to pay a lot of money if we can find them. But the truth is...
So here's how you get buy now leads. Generate leads yourself, fill your own database, follow up with those leads, and when they're ready to buy, send them off to the agent and charge $150.
150 what?
$150. $200.
Per lead?
Okay, let me repeat. If you want buy now leads, as a marketer, get a CRM system, fill your CRM system with a bunch of Facebook leads, nurture those leads, follow up with them, make the phone calls, do the text message, do the emails. And when they become a buy now lead, right? Send them off to the agent, charge them $250 or $150.
Makes sense.
There's your buy now leads.
Pretty much.
Like how? Guys, I really feel that like everybody in, like all the marketers out there really need to start doing the math on how small your audience is. Okay, you have 325 million US citizens. I don't know, like whatever, like I think it's 325 million, right? What are you at now? You falling asleep, Matt?
No, Matt? I think it's 325.
No, 325.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, you had 230 million adults in the US, right? Do you know how many homes got sold last year in the US?
How many, Shane?
No, you don't? You're a realtor.
I don't offhand.
Okay, does any I'd be interested to know if any marketer knows how many homes have been sold in the US in 2017.
And you have 10 seconds. You can't Google that.
Yeah, 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. Guys, if you're a marketer and you don't know how many homes have been sold in the US, like this is the data you need to know, right? So 6.1, I think it was like 6.1 or 6.2 million homes were sold in the US.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last
in 2017,
like the leads have been sold like 90 times over of what actually sold.
So do the math on this. That's how small your audience is. You guys want buy now leads, so that's over an annual period, right? So that means you need to make sure that your ads are in front of the right people at the right time. to capture that lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anyways, I just
No, it's totally true.
it's like,
So any tips
6.1 for 250 million people.
Yeah, and I think we sold like almost 500,000 leads last year. It's ridiculous. Or not 500,000, like 500 million, like 500 million leads. We sold more leads than there are people. Last time I checked, that could be off. It's Whiskey Thursday. We don't do math.
Whiskey Thursday.
Whiskey Thursday. Whiskey Thursday. Ian is saying, any tips on finding agents that can afford services?
Yes. People that are spending money.
Agreed. Look at Zillow, look at Realtor.com. People that are paying for that already. Matt says, very thankful for you guys showing I shouldn't undervalue what I'm doing. Agreed. Don't undervalue it. And Doug says, Matt has really taken Whiskey Thursday to here tonight. I try to take Whiskey Thursday as seriously as possible. Let's see. Joe says, Zerple does that. They attach a pixel to a lead and let you know when they're searching things like homes for sale. Zerple's amazing. If you haven't checked out Zerple, check it out. It's not that expensive. It's really great. Gary says, what are your thoughts on using generic websites like txhomesforsale.com versus a broker's website and gathering leads through that website? Well, I guess I would have questions, Gary, as far as TX Homes for Sale. Is that just a landing page, or is that a separate website that they're going to be searching and not searching on the brokerage's website? That would be my question, because I wouldn't want to deter them from the brokerage's website, but at the same time, if I have a really solid landing page, I'm more likely to send them there and then the agent's website than to send them to the agent's website first. I hope that makes sense. Would you agree with that, Shane?
I wasn't listening. Sorry. I was reading.
So he says, what are your thoughts on using a generic website like TX Homes for Sale versus a broker's site? And I said, I would probably, if it was a landing page that's converting, use the TX Homes for Sale. However, if you're using TX Homes for Sale instead of, like, you're not sending them over to the brokerage website, I'd be careful about deterring them from the brokerage's website.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I
would want to capture a lead form, honestly. Like, if the brokerage has a website that has IDX and whatnot, I would want to capture a lead form and then send them to that website.
Yeah, like I've always, like, especially recently, we've been doing a lot more content marketing stuff and really trying to promote the agents and the brokerages. Just, this idea of sending like, well, yeah, so always capture your lead information as quick as possible. So from the Facebook platform, that's what we're doing now, and then send them off to from the thank you pages off to the agent's websites. So that's typically what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Whether that's working better or not, like, I mean, it's hard to, like, you just said, how many leads were generated last year?
Yeah, I'm totally, like, guessing.
Okay, even if it's 250 million leads were generated last year, it's probably way more than that. Like, it's probably 500 million. I don't know what that number is.
I'd heard the stat somewhere that we generated 90 times the amount of homes sold.
Well,
so
if
I don't know if that's
so if it's 90 times, you're looking at 700 million leads. Generated last year.
Far more than I know. It was far more than the amount of homes sold.
Guy, like,
far more.
So what's working best? Who here has been able to split test 700 million leads?
I mean, think about that. 700 million. If you sell, and Leanne says 2017, around 5.5 million of U.S. homes were sold. Okay.
Yeah, but you're forgetting all the for sale by owners.
Yeah, let's just call it 7 million to be safe. Still, at 700 million leads sold, it's 1% of the leads, which I think is probably pretty accurate. Alex says, how do you funnel hack mortgage broker ads and funnels to spy on what's working? Alex, what I do is I start searching mortgage in Facebook pages and find out who's running ads and look at those.
opt into one of them, and then all of a sudden your news feed just fills up with them. It's crazy.
It's true. It's true. But no, that's what I do is I'll go look up, if I want to know what seller leads are looking like right now, I'll just search home evaluations, and there's like home evaluations Facebook page.
How many more questions we got here, man? It's 11:30.
Let's see. I think that's it.
Okay, quickly. Ad copy, right?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right.
Hashtag show me the copy.
Yeah, so very, very simple, guys. Oops. Solo. There we go. Hey, are you okay? So this was AJ's. So if you guys are watching this, like I said, we're going to delete this here because I don't want everybody to see this. But this is the ad copy of AJ's campaign. Very, very simple. In fact, if you take a look at the house here, it's the ugliest freaking house that I've ever promoted. But I'm going to tell you two things that I believe is what generated, why it generated so many leads.
I can't believe you're giving this away for free.
Dude, 15 people. Come on, man. We got to give something away for.
Yeah, but they're 15 people, not leads. I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, guys, if you're watching this, hashtag value.
This is called.
I just watched like 3 people jump online.
This is called value. Okay. This is why you join this group. This is why you're watching for 2 hours or 2 hours. This is why. So this was the ad. You're all going to say, what the hell? Like what? Like this ad is so ugly. It's the ugliest fucking house ever. It is. I didn't even think it would work that much, but I really believe 2 things here. The words estate sale and the save over $25,000 today is what generated 12 leads or a lead for every 12 minutes. So we were generating leads, 1 lead every 12 minutes from Facebook ads. And we generated close to, like, I never sent this to AJ, but we generated close to 60 leads from the marketplace.
Again, if you're watching live right now, like, screenshot this because it's disappearing.
Don't screenshot. What the fuck is wrong with you? Screenshot this. Don't give people fucking ideas. Screenshot. That's it. Hey guys. Okay, so that was the one. Fuck, man. You're telling me don't show
I would
your ads? What is wrong with you? Go screenshot this.
If you're going to show it, like, that's what I would be like screenshotting this right now.
Yeah, go screenshot this and post this all over Facebook.
No, don't post it. If you post it, we'll kick you from the group. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
We might, but
okay. So that was this is okay. So the other big thing too that I think a lot of people make mistakes is that 3-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow or just a 3-bedroom single family home is your largest audience. There are more 3-bedroom single family homes sold than any other house. That is your largest audience. If you're doing condos, townhouses, luxury, or anything else, you're going to have smaller audiences. That's all there is to it. But everybody's looking for a single family 3-bedroom home.
What was your targeting on this? If we're giving it away.
Wide. Wide. Always wide. That's it.
It was completely open. This was your 18 to 65.
That was it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. 43 leads, 9. And again, the reason why I'm showing this, like, this is part of, like, I show this, like, my students get this as well, and they get some of the other ones as well. But that's a really good campaign. And the only reason why I'm showing this is that you look at, like, there's nothing really, like, special about that house. In fact, it's the ugliest house ever. I've never seen it. I would never buy a house like that. But the offer, the price, like, I always tell people it's always about the price. It's always about the offer. That's why people opt into these ads.
You know what the best part is?
You just like disappear.
I just did math on this. These were not cheap leads. They were almost $5 a piece.
Which leads?
These leads. You spent $240 or $243 on this. No, they were over $5 a piece.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now how much they were. I don't even think we spent that much. I think maybe it was $230, but I think we were doing some. Oh, you know what? No. we were doing other things too. We were so we were doing a lot of remarketing. So we did some videos as well. He got a bunch of listings from his videos as well. But we did that a couple weeks after. Hang on a second. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused.
But still, the point I'm making is the fact that like this wasn't 25-cent leads.
No, it doesn't. The lead cost doesn't matter.
Exactly. The lead cost does not matter. The closing
rate.
Yeah,
it does. So hang on a second. It does matter. Like you just start generating, $75 leads, your client's going to get pissed off.
I guess I should say it doesn't matter to some extent.
Right. Like between $3 and $5. Like we're always like as marketers, it's like because we're seeing it constantly that people are generating 50-cent leads. So I got to generate the cheapest possible lead, It's like, no, you don't.
Yep.
What the hell is? Let me get it up. I'm gonna bring it up here for a second. Damn, where's this account? I have so many accounts. It's crazy. Way too many clients, Matt. I have way too many clients.
Joe says we aren't counting the free leads. Joe, what do you mean?
No, the free leads aren't included in that.
Which free leads are we counting?
Well, I did a lot of marketplace stuff, right?
Okay, that's right.
Remember, we were doing. I was showing you what we were doing on the marketplace.
Are we showing that too right now?
No, I can't even bring it up because it's part of my messenger.
Bryn says, did that particular ad take them to a landing page when they click learn more?
No, it's lead ads.
It was lead ads. So they click learn more, but
$3.19. So my average lead cost was $3.19.
Where was it? Where was this at?
Huh?
Where was the ad placed? What part of the country or part of the world?
Ottawa.
Okay. So, I mean, it's actually a decent price lead.
$3.19 Canadian.
Very, very good.
$3.19 Canadian. 48. We ran it for 48 hours. I'm just looking at the stats here. 48 hours.
Okay, if you guys enjoyed that, if you totally are gonna.
Okay, well, again, the point is that you can't use that ad copy because it's not the same. Like it's like the point again is that we used a property that appealed to the masses, right? To the majority of the people. We used the fact that it was an estate sale. We used the fact that it was below market value. We used all those pieces that you need in order to create a compelling offer. That's it. And then we used an agent that was really good at follow-up. And that's your other missing piece here.
Yep. Even Alina says, even at $50 a lead, it's totally worth it. Yeah, for those kind of leads, 100%.
What kind of leads are they? There's the same goddamn leads that produce every single day for every single agent. Yes, they are. Yeah, of course they are. They are. They are the exact same type of leads.
But what made them so different? Why did these convert so much better? That's what everybody's wondering is why did these convert so much better, Shane, than their 100 or 200 or 300 leads are generating?
Because it has been 3.5 months with an agent that's been following up with them regularly.
Exactly.
That's why.
It's about the follow-up.
Time and follow-up. That's all there is to it. And we're so, as marketers, we're so always trying to get the cheapest lead and the best quality and chatbots and all blah blah blah, all this crap. It's like build an ad, capture a lead, get your agents to follow up with those leads.
Yeah.
And continue to follow up with them. That's it. They're going to convert.
That's exactly.
You don't need that many to convert. You really don't. You need one a month, and it's like pain for your. It's more than pain. This is why I only focus on homes lists. This is why.
Olivia says, thanks, Shane and Matt, for the insight in setting up. They're setting this up every Thursday. Got to get some sleep. Good night, Olivia. Thanks so much for joining us. Joe says, boom, knowledge bomb. Heck yes. It was. Is in the follow-up. 100%, bro. 100%.
Matt.
Pretty much.
What? You're broken up.
Well, he said, get on the yelling pants and tell the agent to follow up or shut up.
Yep.
And Rochelle says, follow up or shut up. Hashtag follow up or shut up. And Dan
Who said
Teeman
that?
says, Canada is not real.
Who's on the live, anyways? It's like 18 people, man.
Your
Who's
wife
hanging
said,
out?
follow up or shut up.
Who's saying that?
Your wife.
My wife is on?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble when you go upstairs. Dan continues to comment, Canada is not real.
It's not real. This is
We have 18 viewers, you guys. Thank you so
Okay, we're
much
done.
for sticking around. Hashtag Trooper if you made it this far. You know what? Hashtag Trooper Life if you made it this far, because we did hashtag Trooper like an hour ago. I mean, like, thank
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
for sticking around. Again,
For
Shane's
sure.
going to delete this live and edit some stuff out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sticking around. Do we have any last minute questions, or Shane, do you have any last minute announcements other than the fact that we're doing like a ton of events in January and February that we're going to report on?
No, that's it. I'm pretty excited about those, actually. So Cincinnati, Atlanta, Miami is what we're doing. So the plan is that I'm leaving Toronto, picking up Matt, and then we're driving down to Florida.
To the shooting range?
So if there's anybody, yeah, I mean, if there's anybody between that I wouldn't mind trying to get to Savannah to see Zach.
Oh, Doug said, hashtag, did Shane get married? Hashtag, I love Doug. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Dan says, yo, we all need to hop on a call. Yes, Dan, we absolutely do. Schedule it for tomorrow. Jay says, left and came back and you were still on. Yep. Thank you so much for sticking around, Jay. You gave us an extra viewer there. Alina says, thank you guys. Have a good night. Dan says, yeah, Austin. And I said, you should come to Chicago. Totally. Chicago's like 3 hours from here and like 7 hours from here, right?
Isn't like, okay, I don't want to say anything bad about Chicago, but like I've heard bad things about Chicago.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough.
That's what I heard. Like, yeah, okay, that's like.
I think, what do they call it? Chirac? That's what we hear around here, at least. Anyways, Olivia says, I'm in West Palm Beach. Well, Olivia, you'll have to stop by and see us when we're in Miami. So Gary says, come to Texas. Gary, I would love to come to Texas, especially if we can go to Corpus Christi. I love Corpus Christi. They have some of the best red snapper in the country. Dan says, just don't come to my part of town. Well, Dan, I don't know where you're at, but fair enough.
Sounds rough. Sounds rough.
Jay says, Chicago if you want to die soon. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Somebody come up with a really creative hashtag for sticking around this long. You know what? Throw whatever you want in the comments. We appreciate it. We really do. We're only going to see it because we're going to delete this in a little while and not show everybody the tricks that we just showed you. But the moral of the story was it's about the offer. Would you agree, Shane?
Yeah, a big part of it is about the offer and then working with the right agents, right?
Yep. So go out there and crush it. And if you have questions, toss them in the group, guys and girls.
Was that your ending?
I think it's my ending. Are you going to end it or not? Am I going to?
I gotta push the button.
Hey guys, hang on. Let's see. We gotta. Okay, Luke says Chicago, come for the food, stay for because you got murdered. Okay, well it's getting dark. It's getting dark out. Hashtag it's getting dark. What do they call Canadian bacon in Canada? I'm actually interested in that, Shane. So why don't you answer that and then close us out?
What do they call Canadian bacon in Canada?
Yeah, what do they call Canadian bacon in Canada?
Bacon. What else are we gonna call it?
What do you call American bacon?
Bacon.
It's all bacon.
It's all bacon.
And Shane doesn't eat any of it because he's a vegetarian.
That's right. No, recently, like calm down. Like maybe next month, next live, who knows, right? Like I'm gonna be coming over for a steak.
I say it's gonna be tough if you actually give up bacon. I would
I don't eat bacon anyways.
I might mourn for you.
I don't eat bacon anyways. Okay, that is it. We're done. Okay. Like this is getting out of hand. Okay, guys, thanks you so much. Listen, to all our members, all the supporters out there, thank you so much. Much appreciated. You know where to find us if you have any questions at all. We're always in the group and hanging out. So that is it. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Whiskey Thursday. It was fun. Take care, Matt.
Take care, Rochelle. He's coming to bed soon.